All right, we live. Russell's making fun of us. Like when I said just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Speaking of making it, Caitlyn damn near did not make it to the gates of the moon or to the Erie. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, it's been a hard journey. Excuse me, everybody. It's been a hard journey. Hello everyone. This is Misha Houston. We're going live tonight, and we're gonna continue our chapter. Caitlyn, what is it? Caitlyn 6.
It's Caitlyn 6, and Elamar just texted me. She says she'll be home around 8:30, and she'll pop in with us then, and that's good, and that's great. But yeah, we're just going to continue on Caitlyn because it was so long.
Yes, it was a very long chapter, very descriptive chapter.
And we like to get thorough around here.
And it's introducing a new place. It's introducing a brand new place. So they really had to go into a deep description of where they were going. You know, the East Road and the climate there, and then making it on over to the Vale of End.
And I'm going to do my best not to fall asleep or pass out or anything else. Watch and see. I had coffee a while ago.
Okay. Well, if you had a cup of coffee, then I don't believe you'll fall asleep at any time soon.
I won't. Because I'm not a coffee drinker in the mornings. I have coffee in the evenings when I feel like I'm sleepy.
Well, the caffeine will keep you awake now. And it'll throw off your sleep cycle too. So as a precaution, just be careful about the coffee.
Well, you know, I'm a normal Game of Thrones watcher. I don't have a normal sleep cycle. I'm like you. I might be up all night. I might be sleeping during the day. You can't talk about normal sleep cycles. I know you got an odd little sleep cycle yourself.
We got, who do we have? We got Aless and Rose in the chat. Hello, Aless and Rose.
Hey, girl.
For joining us tonight.
Good to see you.
Bubba Husky is here. Thank you so much, Bubba Husky, for joining us. This is Misha Houston. I'm here with Jennifer as a guest on her channel. If you want to find me, check me out on YouTube under my channel, Misha Houston. You can also check me out on Facebook under Misha Houston, and you can also check me out on Instagram under Misha_Houston.
You guys, Misha has this great analysis of, y'all look, Rudy's in the frame. That's my dog, Rudy. Hey, Rudy. Misha has this great analysis of Sansa and the danger of winds, and I keep on trying to get her to do it on special stream. Hey, Johnny. I was just telling Misha I'm not going to fall asleep nor pass out tonight. And I was just trying to tell her we need to do that. We need to do that. Sansa and the danger of winds that you've got. We need to do that analysis.
Well, you know, maybe one day. I don't want to make a promise that I won't be able to keep. But
right.
I would, you know, like to, but just not right now. It's just not the right time.
Right. And Mackenzie Burns is in the chat. So don't talk about we're going to do something that has to do with Sansa and we can't come through with that. But I do want to say to Mackenzie Burns, did you see the new Fura Hexa video? John and the political, this video is like an hour long, y'all. And yes, we will be streaming about it right here. Sid Cheesy. Hey, buddy. Oh, all the good people's in the chat tonight. This is awesome. It's so good to see y'all.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight and sticking with us. Sometimes we have good nights, sometimes we have bad nights. Very good night.
You know, and that's really how life is, though. I mean, it really is.
Money G, hey Money, Hayes House Sanchez, Alessia Rose, Johnny B Crazy. I love that name, Johnny B Crazy. That's nice. Connie Super, thank you so much for joining us. We're discussing Caitlyn tonight. We're going to carry on with our discussion of Caitlyn. We only got maybe halfway through our story because there was a lot going on in this story. And as I said before, there place for us, the Vale of Aaron. So George R. R. Martin really got into the description of the place and what the people are like there. I really appreciate that.
I did as well. I appreciated the description of the blackfish, which is one of the first things we come to in the chapter. Is that basically Caitlyn says when they were younger, and she reminds him, I'm not a child anymore, because he says, tell me your troubles, child. And she says, well, I'm not a child anymore. But then it goes on to describe that anytime her, Lysa, what's her brother's name? It's just escaping me right now.
Edmure.
And even Littlefinger. It even says Littlefinger. Anytime they had a problem or a hurt or anything, that they would
turn to the blackfish before they would their own father.
Well, hey, Nancy T. Well, we're glad to see you too.
Yes, Nancy, thank you for joining us. You say you've been dying to check out our reviews. There are many reviews on my channel, and there are many reviews on this channel. So if you want to check out past reviews of past chapters, check out my channel, Misha Houston, and also check out Lady Wolverton's, Jennifer's channel.
We used to do on Misha's channel too. Misha's my full partner, y'all. A lot of y'all, I guess some of the newcomers don't know that. Misha's my full partner. She was just gone for a little bit, but at one time when I had a shoulder surgery, she had took over things.
Yes.
And Johnny Be Crazy is our resident Westworld expert too, by the way. I want to throw that out there.
Then I have to give you nothing but credit, Johnny B, because that show just flew right over.
Didn't that blow your mind this week? How they went back in time and shit?
Yes.
On a safari?
Yeah, I mean, this show is Westworld has, I don't know what to make of it. I love the show, but it's just, oh man, it's just crazy to me.
I mean, same here. I love the show, but as far as what is going on, don't ask me. Bunch of people running around. Some people look real, some people ain't real. Yeah,
it's hard to know the difference between the two, and it's a good.
It was a good episode, though. I enjoyed that kind of safari situation. I did.
Now back to Game of Thrones, which is our subject for tonight.
Yeah.
We're discussing Caitlyn, and she's made her way to the Vale of Aaron. You know, she's met with her uncle, the Brendan the Blackfish Tully, and we talk a little bit about Brendan and his history and how it was between him and Hoster Tully.
And how he got that name.
And how he got his name, right. I don't have the quote right in front of me.
His brother said something to him like, "You're the black goat of the Tullys," and he said, "Well, since their sigil was a trout, then he ought to be the black fish." And ever since then, he took it on proudly. Yeah, and everybody, and it's one of those things that just kind of caught on.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you call somebody like a nickname and it doesn't stick, but then sometimes you call somebody a nickname and it really sticks. That really stuck for him.
Absolutely, and the Blackfish, in my mind, is a perfect name, you know, for Brendan the Blackfish Tully. It's a beautiful name for him. I really like it. I really do. I mean, he's very much a man that did not, you know, veer off and go, you know, the way that a normal man would. A normal man in this world will most likely get married and have a few children, but he went in another route. He went in another direction, and I appreciate that, you know, for people who go in their own routes and beat to the, you know,
beat to their own drum. Beat to their own drum, exactly. Jinx, I owe you a daiquiri.
Yeah,
owe you a daiquiri.
We'll get a daiquiri on the trip.
Y'all, me and Misha are actually gonna get to meet at the Con of Thrones. We've been planning this for damn near a year.
Yeah, we're gonna happen, toward the end of the month. And if you have time, stop by the website, get a ticket, and meet us down there.
Yeah.
I think we might even film from down there.
Yeah, we're going to do something from down there. I don't know that we'll have a whole broadcast or anything like that, but we'll take lots of pictures and maybe make a little bit of film, take a little bit of filmage, get a little bit, maybe we can get on camera us meeting James.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Blackfish is gay, said Chaz. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get that from him. I didn't get that vibe from him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. There are a few characters in this story that I do suspect are gay. I mean, that I know for sure are gay, and that I suspect that they are gay, but they are not quite clear about it. And that's, for a later time and a later discussion. But there are a few characters that hit the gay mark.
But I just don't get that off of Blackfish. Now that don't mean that he's not,
No, it doesn't mean that he's not, but who knows? I mean, with George R. Martin, he might, pull a rabbit out of a hat and make someone gay in this, and I think it will be genius as well. Now,
I mean, you could be like Oberyn. You could be like Oberyn. You can switch here. I mean, you don't never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Nancy T in our chat says she can't wait to meet us. So I'm assuming
awesome.
that you're going to be in Dallas as well. So it'll be great to meet you too, Nancy T.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Connie Super just came in the chat. Well, that's great, Nancy. I can't wait for that either.
Now, as back to the story. She's talking to Blackfish, and she's asking, what is the mood of the veil? And Brendan the Blackfish Tully is just telling her that it's an angry time right now. It's a very angry time by now because she felt that it was an insult that Jaime Lannister,
got named Warden of the East.
Warden of the East, exactly, and over her son.
I would have took it as an insult too. That was traditionally a House Aaron's title.
Absolutely, it is an insult to him. It is an insult to him, and he, for what we know of, he, is the direct descendant of Robert Aaron. He's his son, and his son should inherit the lands and the title of Warden of the East.
Look, but it'd have been like not making Jaime. It'd have been just like not making Jaime Lannister Warden of the West. Oh, right. Hey, Sarah. It'd have been just like not making Jaime Warden of the West when Tywin died. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same situation. So hell yeah, I would have been mad too.
Hey, Sarah, honey, how you doing?
I mean, and I get that he's a kid and everything, but most of the time you have somebody else doing your business anyway. Sarah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
I was just saying hello. You're right.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
Work has been so crazy. Thanks for letting me jump back on. I appreciate it.
No,
I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad that you're back in. Hope you're doing well in your personal life.
Yeah, and I understand. I even took a job myself.
Good for you.
Yeah. Personal life is always a disaster, but it's going pretty well.
That's good.
Having too much to do is a good thing. So.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. We're discussing Caitlyn tonight. Sarah, I don't know if you read the chapter or not, but you haven't been. You'll catch up and get an earful from the two of us.
That sounds.
This is Yeah.
Oh,
what did you say?
Can I say this? Because we were talking about Nancy T says she's going to be at the con. We're going to be at the con. Are you going to be at the con one day at least?
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
So see, you guys, you can meet all three of us at the con for real.
And also James, our panelist from last week, our guest from last
James
week,
from Dust on the Throne is most definitely, he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a lot of people from our little circle here. So,
forgive me, James was the one from last week?
Yes,
and the week before, I believe. He's been on twice. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm behind. Forgive me.
That's okay.
That's all right.
No problem. Yeah, we're discussing Caitlyn tonight. This is the chapter, and I'm telling you this, Sarah, where she takes Tyrion on the East Road, and she's made her way to the Vale of Aaron to talk to her sister Liza Aaron. It was a treacherous journey. A lot of people died, but she made it there okay. She's also, say it again, huh?
I was going to say, is this the one where Liza acts like she's all happy to see Kat, and then as soon as the door shuts, she like throws her hands down. It's like, what the hell are you doing here with him? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly that one.
Yeah, absolutely. We're meeting Liza Aaron, you know, for the first time in the story, and Caitlyn is reconnecting with her, and it's just been a harrowing, horrible journey for her. And it just doesn't get better with time. She has to face a lot of fears on this journey. She's in fear for her life. She's sleeping on the ground. She probably hasn't had a decent bath in a while. She is trying to make it up that mountain. She has reconnected with her uncle, Brendan the Blackfish Tully, and we get to meet him and what he's all about. And he's explaining to us what the mood of the Vale is. And it's not really a good place right now because the king, I'm assuming, was it Robert or was it Joffrey? I'm not quite sure which.
It was Robert at this point, but and this is right around the time of the hands turning, and she doesn't want anybody going to fight in the hands turning. And then the guy, I can't remember who it is. It's not Blackfish, but it's the other dude. Is telling her, you know, the mood up here is that we all supposed to be keeping our swords at the ready, but for what, we don't really know. She's afraid of shadows, and we get that again. And
they're also the Vale is feeling the loss of the hand of the king, Jon Arryn. So they are in grief over that much. And then they're also talking about Robert Arryn. Robert Arryn is such he
was much loved. He was much loved.
This is the Liza chapter, but really it's a Sweet Robin chapter. We meet him, right?
Oh, yes, Sweet Robin is very much a part of this chapter. We get our introduction of him as well, and it's an infamous, you know, introduction where I think everyone is gonna remember, you know, when he came into the room later on.
Yes, Connie, Sir Vardis Egan. Yes, Connie, Sir Vardis Egan. This is when Lisa's got all her suitors and whatnot. Pretends to be happy to see Caitlyn, but is not. And then we get this trial by combat.
No, we don't go to the trial by combat in this.
We don't get it. We just get Lisa and her suitors in her court. The court she has around her.
She's has become a widow now, and she's got a lot of suitors flocking around her, and she's made it clear that she is going to choose the husband that she wants this time. And Brendan the Blackfish Tully is on board with that. She, not so much that she will be in charge of the Vale, but you know, the fact that she's going to be choosing her own husband. And, you know, he doesn't have a problem with it. He agrees with her on that subject. And I can understand why he would agree with that, because he's a man that chose his own lifestyle. He chose, you know, to remain a warrior, to remain single, you know, not to get married or have children, not until he wanted it to. So
is that a fair? Is it fair to call him stubborn?
I would definitely think it would be fair to call the Blackfish stubborn.
I wish I read this chapter, but I did a long time ago. I wish everyone really. The Blackfish is like such a fan favorite, and I got to read it and figure out why.
My glasses broke, y'all. Look at this. My glasses.
I'll be damned.
I'll be right back, guys.
Look, you can get you a glass repair kit at the Dollar Tree.
No, the frames are broken.
Oh, well, I can't help you there.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
So I'm really excited. I found my glasses. I lost my glasses, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Couldn't find them anywhere. They showed back up, and I'm really happy about it. They were under a seat in the car.
Well, that's great. I wear glasses and actually don't have any at this time because I don't have good enough insurance to really, I mean, like I can get I was ordering contacts from Canada.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our bullshit, right?
Right. I need some though. I can't see far away. If I couldn't read, that would be a different story.
I couldn't. I was wearing sunglasses all the time, like an asshole. But I mean, it was just it had to happen. So, yeah. I'm glad I got my glasses back, everyone who's following this store so closely. I didn't read the chapter on Misha's Gone. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm up for.
I did read it. But you know, I can't say right where we're at in it. I have to open my book here. Open my trusty book. But I did read it. It's a long ass chapter, I can tell you all that.
Oh, chapter so long. Yeah.
What? Okay, good night. Russell wants to do an infomercial real quick.
No, I don't.
It's called Drink More Rum.
No, it don't. It's not nothing to do with drink more rum. Drink less rum and trust your wife more.
Go away, Russell. What?
Drink black rum?
More rum. Drink more rum. He's always drinking that rum.
I'll see you in the back.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Probably about the same time I'm getting up to go to work.
Beautiful glasses, Misha.
Oh yeah, these are my old pair. These are my old pair before I got a new one. I can still see out of them, so they're gonna have to work for now.
I hear you. It happens. I was telling Jen I lost a pair of glasses and I was wearing sunglasses all the time, but we've been reacquainted and like I found a lost child. I'm so happy.
Let's finish and let me see if we can keep on going here. Okay, we're at the Vale, and she's talking to her uncle and talking about the various people in the Vale. They talk a little bit about Sweet Robin and gives us a little description of him. He's 60 years old, he's sickly, and he's prone to weep if his dolls are taken away. Now that, you know, kind of stood out to me just a little bit because his new favorite doll is Sansa. And I wonder, you understand? I wonder, you know, what will happen, you know, later on in the winter in regards to Sweet Robin and how he's going to feel about the upcoming betrothal and so on and so forth.
Here it is right here. Mm-hmm. Lord Robert, it's about the blackfish. I just happened to, it must be serendipitous. The boy, what of him? She ducked her head as they passed under a low overhang of rock around a sharp turn. Her uncle's voice was troubled. Lord Robert, he sighed, 6 years old, sickly, and prone to weep if you take his dolls away. John Aaron's true-born heir by all the gods. Yet there are some who say he is too weak to sit his father's seat. Nestor Royce has been high steward these past 14 years, while Lord John served in King's Landing, and many whisper he should rule under the boy until the boy comes of age. Others believe that Lysa must marry again, and soon. Already the suitors gather like crows on a battlefield. The Eyrie is full of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mood up at the Eyrie.
Yeah, everyone is grasping now. It kind of reminds me of the, you know, the Feast of the Crows. You know, how the corpses are starting to pile up and the crows start to fly in to get a taste of the meat. And that's kind of how it is now. And I think it's wonderful that he decided to put the Vale, you know, as a center story in the Feast for Crows. I thought that was genius of him to do that. So thank you so much, George R. R. Martin, for that little bit.
For so many.
Say it again?
I said for so many things.
For some, absolutely, I agree. I totally agree. Now let's see what else. You know, we can kind of tell in regards to the suitors that these men don't really love Lysa. They really don't. They're just in it for the money, pretty much for the money, for the kingdom of the mountain and the Vale, and that's pretty much it. And we also talk a little bit about how a woman can rule as wisely as a man. I thought that line really stood out to me as well. Can a woman really rule? Because we have some women rulers here right now in regards to Cersei. Could she, rule this place if she were given the opportunity to rule? If Robert and all of the hands and the kings and all of that were all disappeared, could a woman rule as wisely as a man could? And can a woman do what a man could? It's filled with this chauvinistic way. I mean, it really, highlights how chauvinistic and how sexist things are right now. Can a woman rule as wisely as a man? So that's a very good point of the chapter that stood out to me as well. Jennifer, do you have any points or any parts of that section that stood out to you?
Just that, but I think absolutely that the right woman can, just like the right man can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because we see these men in power doesn't mean they do a good job.
Yeah, that's
true.
And
I mean, I think that's the good point. I think whenever a woman does a bad job, everybody's too point to say, oh, well, she was a woman. You never hear somebody say, oh, well, they were a man. You don't hear that. But the truth is, it's tit for tat. Truthfully, it is. And to be honest with you, I think as far as, and I know I get some hate, but y'all know I'm a Sansa lover. I'll admit it proudly. As far as the show goes, Sansa's doing a fine job up there at Winterfell. Doing exactly all the right things. Making sure there's enough food. Making sure the armor's correct. Doing all the right things that you would expect. And honestly, Lysa wasn't doing a horrible job. She was crazy at a shithouse bat. But, aside from that, with all the right people around you, it's once said that, a person's not necessarily a good ruler because they're a good ruler. They're a good ruler by the people they surround themselves with.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that most of the rulers in our story that we get a look at that are good rulers, they're good rulers because of the people that they've got surrounded themselves with.
Yes,
and not necessarily just because they're the smartest or they're the best.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly true in Cersei's chapter. She surrounds herself with sycophants and people that are just looking out for themselves. I mean, it's a nest of vipers in King's Landing. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that she fell so far so fast. I mean, I wish that the Cersei chapter, we could talk about the Cersei chapter, but we haven't gotten to those yet. But as far as the story goes, they also talk about Lysa herself and her mental state. He says that the Lysa who came back from King's Landing is not the same girl who went south when her husband was made the hand of the king. Those years were hard upon her, you must know. Lord Antony was a beautiful husband, but their marriage was made from politics, not passion. There are so many marriages here. There are so many marriages that are made from politics and not love. I think that's one of the biggest problems that the story is facing right there. I mean, there's so many marriages going on, so many children created.
Misha, can I interrupt you real fast?
Yes.
Somebody's not muted, and I'm here. Everyone's sounding echoey, and I want to hear what you're saying.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me now? Everyone is muted. You're muted, Sarah.
Am I still muted?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I can hear you now, and it's only one of you. It's not 10 of you that sound like metal.
Oh, okay. So, maybe.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Am I the reverbish person?
I think so, Jen. Just this time.
It's fine. I'm going to put my headphones back in then. Just, y'all continue. I'm going to grab myself a cup of coffee. That's why I put my picture on.
Okay. Unmute your microphone, please, Sarah.
I told her to mute it before she goes. I'm so good at my own advice that I talk when my mic is muted.
No, I hadn't gone yet. What's up, y'all?
No, we're trying to figure out the sound issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm.
You were talking about loveless marriages and all these marriages of duty that create a lot of resentment when people don't treat each other right. Like you were saying that John Aaron was a dutiful husband, but she was like a little girl marrying an old dude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah,
couldn't have been
absolutely.
great.
No, I mean, imagine that for a moment, having to marry some old man, having to lay with an old man.
Meanwhile, that poor fool is in love with Littlefinger, like, and she has to marry some old dude.
Yeah, she's had a rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I as I said last week, I don't have much sympathy for Liza Aaron.
Yeah, she's hard, but I mean, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, but they do talk a little bit, in the story about Liza Aaron, and
they say she got heavy. That's another funny thing they said about Cersei too. Cersei got heavy when she was misruling. They didn't show that on the show. The actress who plays Liza, Tully, on the show is awesome and Scottish and like very slim. But I think I remember in the book they said that Liza was like gained 2 stone or something, and she had like a big heavy breast to feed Robert Aaron with. Like that is definitely not show Liza, right?
Well, in the show they pulled out her breast.
They did, and I think it had to have been a stump boob, right?
Yeah, it was a fake boob. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice boob. Not to say that something like that wouldn't be attached to Katie Dickey, but
it was false.
It was a dramatic boob. It was a dramatic boob.
Yeah, she's had miscarriages, so she's before she lost 2 babies. They were born dead, and she had twice as many, so 4 miscarriages. She's had a lot of loss here. They're talking about that, and they talk about the stillborn babies and the miscarriages and the toll that it can take on them.
Well, and it's probably not a coincidence that she treats her 8-year-old like a baby. Like, I mean,
yeah, she's putting so much. She's putting all of the pressure of all of those lost children onto Robin. That's what it is, at least in my opinion. He says that your sister is afraid and afraid of what the Lannisters might do. And
he really is like Liza's spouse. Doesn't it seem like he's Liza's spouse? Like almost like he's the man of the Eyrie, and that's the whatever ruler is. What is it called? Regent or something? The
regent.
Because she's so. Correct me if I'm wrong. John Aaron's dead. Nobody thinks Sweet Robin's not a normal 8-year-old child. He's got a lot going on medically and spiritually, what have you. But is he the one who's in charge right now via his mother? Like his mother controls him. So
yes, he is technically the Lord of the Eyrie.
So yeah,
now, Robert, put Jamie, in that role, in that position, but Robert died, and Jamie didn't want the title. He made it clear that he didn't want any kind of special title attached to his name. So for now, Sweet Robin is the Lord of the Vale.
Is it Warden of the East or something like that too?
Warden of the East.
Or West? No, East.
Of the East.
I don't ever really hear about that anymore. Like.
Well, on the show, they've completely forgotten Sweet Robin. But in the books, it's very prevalent. In the books and in the chapters, very prevalent. Everyone sees him as the ruler of the Vale, but they really don't want him to be the ruler. Put it like
what I remember is that they so actively drug him to not have a seizure in front of people, but
they give him sweet sleep. They give him like some medications to control his seizures.
And it's like Littlefinger is like, well, how much won't kill him? Give him that. And the Maester's all upset about it, like.
Well,
is it Mr. Coleman, like he's like, I dare not do it again. I dare not do it again. And Littlefinger's basically the one writing the prescription. It seemed to me. I don't know, but that's not this chapter. Sorry, guys.
No.
Speaking of Maester Coleman, though, Living My Rhapsody says she's almost my home. But speaking of Maester Coleman, we did see him in this chapter, and it was when they made it to the Gates of the Moon. They were pretty roughed up, and they were like, we need to see a Maester. And that's when Blackfish was like, they keep the Maester up there right on top of John Aaron. They've got a Septon down there at the gatehouse to tend any kind of wounds that happen to come up. But anyway, so
do they have a Septon? Do they have a Septon out there? Like, I know you said they have a Maester Coleman, but do they have a Septon out there?
No,
they have the Werewood throne, but
they have a sept, but no Septon. Put it like that.
Okay, I don't remember.
No, I mean, yeah, most of the things that you're quoting from is from Feast.
Oh,
this is like the first time that we're.
I really like that one a lot, so that's probably why that's like the only book that exists to me.
Well, we're certainly going to see a lot of the veil.
I hear you. I am a big. It's taken us. I mean, we've been on this book for at least 7. I don't know what we started doing. You guys was reviews after the show each week was recaps. And then to keep ourselves going, we started doing the book chapter by chapter. So it should be years till we get to Feast. So
it's going to be a long time. There's 72 chapters.
I'm going to be so prepared. You guys are going to have no idea.
Yeah, it's going to be years. It's going to be years. But as far as the sweet sleep goes, yeah, the boy is very sickly and he has seizures, and they make mention of how sickly he is. Can
I just throw in one thing? You were talking about how the Blackfish was talking about Sweet Robin and how he tends to cry if you don't let him play with his dolls. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a super martial, like, guy talking about a little kid. Like, of course he's going to be like, oh, he cries because he plays with dolls. Any guy who doesn't throw a sword around is probably like, I think they don't. They really value physical prowess, right? I didn't really think my thought through. I'm sorry.
You're saying because you have children yourself, Sarah, and you know that when they're little, that's how they are. You know, I see it all day long at the Dollar Tree. Yes, ma'am. Hand me that item. I will ring it up so you can give it back to your child if it will quit them from screaming. No problem. You know what I mean? I mean, it's how kids are. It's fine.
And like Rhaegar didn't pick up a sword until he was older, and everyone was like worried about him. I don't know. Do you guys hear that so we're talking about sexism in terms of whether or not a woman can rule as well as a man, and I think the consensus is absolutely the right woman can do the job and the right man can do the job. It's the right person for the job. But I
have everybody know that I can not only check oil, but I can check the pressure on your tires as well.
That's great because I have nothing but car problems. Oh, was it sort of like making fun of him for being a little effeminate playing with dolls? Like, or am I just reading into that too much? Because I have kids.
I think he was just saying that he was a whiny child.
A whiny child if you take his doll away. All right.
I think he was just basically saying that he was kind of just sickly and whiny. I don't really think he meant it any kind of way or whatever. But then again, somebody who's never been married and doesn't have children of their own, who only has ever enjoyed nieces and nephews, they have a little bit of a different perspective.
That's the best way to enjoy children is an aunt or an uncle.
I would agree.
I'm not going to say that as a mother. Actually, I take that back.
Johnny Be Crazy is in the chat going, at least he can call them it's action figures. It's action figures.
Yeah, they're war dolls. Duh. They're like war figures.
Y'all, when I was growing up, it was those Star Wars figures. Does anybody remember that?
You better believe I'm buying those for my daughter now. I'm like Star Wars now. Sorry.
I'm
back
not
to
a fan. No, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but you know, everybody is to each his own.
Are you going to see the new movie in the theater, or are you going to not watch it ever?
I have no love for Star Wars, so
I go, okay, and it's always got people dressed up at our theater. I always get a picture with one of the Star Troopers. It's so much fun. I wear one of my shirts.
Oh, there you go.
I get down. Yeah, we go. Me and Wolverton go to the midnight movie. I sneak in Taco Bell, and he sneaks in a little bottle.
That sounds like an amazing date.
Now, as Sweet Robin, well, no, not Sweet Robin, as the Blackfish and Caitlyn are talking, they're looking at Tyrion. Mm-hmm. And he's asking her, where are his chains? I see an axe on his saddle, a dirk on his belt.
You brought me an armed captive.
You say that this man is your captive, but he has arms. So where are his chains if he's a prisoner? And Caitlyn says that he is my prisoner, but we needed him pretty much unchained to help with the fight. And there was, and it must have been something, a desperate situation if you needed Tyrion's help to fight. Tyrion is not a fighter, but
meanwhile he's like fraternizing with the sellswords and turning them each event. They're bonding with him, not Cat.
Right, and that's telling.
That's how he gets down. I mean,
that's a very telling thing. The sellswords are leaning more toward the Lannisters than they are the Starks. So they probably are of the opinion that the Starks are not going to win some sort of a confrontation if it is against the Lannisters. So
it's so good to have you back, Sarah. I just miss your sunny personality. I just wanted to say that. And I want to also welcome Marie Hill to the chat, Moni G to the chat, Amanda Duncan. And is there anybody we haven't mentioned? I like to mention everybody. And Bubba Husky, I know you hate the Tullys. We all know that Bubba Husky hates the
Tullys. Bubba Husky, I'll let it go.
Okay, Connie Super. All right, Connie, sweet lady. If you need to go to bed, early, then you go on to bed. But hey, thank you for popping in here. We love you here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us.
And Johnny B says, "Good job, Sarah." Johnny, you haven't had the pleasure of Sarah yet. You have to be on a panel with Sarah. She's a lot of fun.
Thank you. You're very nice.
Let's see what else.
I think y'all two need to meet. He actually is a very nice fella.
So we've got Sweet Robin breastfeeding as a 8-year-old boy, 10-year-old boy. No, what happens after that? That preoccupies me a lot.
Real talk. I got to tell a story about this because when I saw that in the show, like that freaked me out. But I have literally even in Jackson Ass, Mississippi, which is country as hell, y'all. Y'all know I'm country as hell. I have literally seen somebody breastfeed a 3-year-old, but getting on up to that age, I mean, I get it. You don't get enough wick. You still breastfeeding your 3-year-old, whatever. But a 6-year-old, that shit's just crazy right there. Especially if you're trying to groom somebody to be a ruler.
And I think that's what's probably more disturbing for me is the ease with which, like, she maybe neither of them recognize that it's not socially acceptable. Like, I feel bad because he's obviously a sick kid. He has seizures. And then a lot of times when you have a sick kid, they say breast is best. You know what I mean? Like, but he's 8. So it's tricky it's a hard visual. It's a hard visual. And she just busted out in court, at least on the show. Like, I don't know if I can't remember if she was that like sort of open about it.
Yeah, she did it in this chapter, no doubt about it.
In front of Kat, but that's like, I don't know. I would do terrible things in front of my sister. I wouldn't do it in front of anybody else. Like, did she do that at court?
I mean, I don't know, you guys, but okay, I only have a brother, so it's hard for me to say. And my brother, I love my brother. My brother.
Yeah, you've mentioned him before. He seems like a solid dude.
My brother just basically gives in to me if he can. I mean, truthfully, that's just the way it is. But, it seems like these two women are very competitive, and it seems like she would be trepidatious. And I know you got, my brother's like, quit saying that fucking word.
Trepidatious.
Yeah, that's like when you are a little bit reluctant. But you would think that she would be reluctant to show that she still got him on the teat at 6 years old. You know, Rickon's running around.
Well, and like, was she doing that in King's Landing? Like, I assume the maester knew about it.
She was, Sarah. I have to assume that she didn't change. She didn't go back because you're okay. You correct me if I'm wrong. You're the only one on the panel with kids. Doesn't your milk dry up if you don't use it?
But I will not speak from personal experience, but as someone who has studied the topic. How about that? Yeah, I think the person matters a lot. Like I do have friends that absolutely breastfeed way longer than anyone would find socially acceptable. Like I'm constantly defending them because they're like, oh, you're gonna nurse that kid in college. Like there are so many people who feel entitled to have an opinion on this issue.
Look, but they say it's good for them. The longer they say it's good for their immune system.
I guess I'm just like that kind of bitch where I'm like, just talk about her behind her back like a normal person. Like don't be mean to her face. Like she's doing what's best for her kid.
Oh God, I can't wait to see you, Sarah. Just be nice to me.
Yeah, of course. But anyway, yeah. So like, I know some people in my life who are like, God damn it, the only way to shut this kid up is to give it this. I'm sorry. And like, we're all a little weirded out by it, but like, you just don't watch. It's not my fucking business. Excuse my language. Sorry. It's not my body. It's not my child. Whatever.
I'm gonna go to a comment in the chat, and the reason I'm gonna go to this person's comment is because I know for a fact they're a teacher's aide. Okay, Mona G. When they have teeth, when they're losing their baby teeth, creepers. Okay, creepers.
Well, and you got to wipe them off before they sleep.
And Mackenzie Burns says, for the breastfeeding, it seems like because she wanted some safety for her child, like a security blanket, or because she wouldn't be poisoned. Okay, now that makes complete sense.
That's the idea too. Is that like, if she's poisoned, sometimes they like encourage breastfeeding to like help wean babies and stuff.
Wait, let me. Can I say something?
Please change the topic.
No, I want to talk about this breastfeeding scene because let me say this. As I said last week, I think that this was just a planned situation. I think that all of this was planned, you know, to throw Caitlyn off guard and to manipulate her through that entire situation, to throw her off.
Do you really?
Yes.
You really think that was completely on purpose? Like, she's like, I'm going to show my ass up here at the vet. Because she did kind of show her ass. She was definitely, in my opinion, kind of showing just how much power and freedom.
That's true. It could be like a demonstration of power. Like, I'm going to do this and you're not going to say anything to me about it.
Because this is my place and you've come here for my help.
Right, exactly. I just think that it was just completely to shut Caitlyn up, to keep her off guard and off tilted.
Well, it worked. It worked for me.
It worked. It did work because this whole situation came, you know, left out of Caitlyn's hands and went directly into Liza's.
On the show, I feel like I saw this first, and I remember being like, "What the fuck did she get herself into?" Like Kat, like because she walks into this scene, she's on a throne, breastfeeding like a big child.
She took a situation that should have been Caitlyn's to deal with and took it all for herself.
She did.
Later on in the chapter, she turned it into a complete mockery. I mean, if you read the later chapters,
let's go to Marie Hill in the chat on that one, if you guys don't mind. Game of Theories with Marie Hill. You guys, a little known channel, well, bigger than this channel, but y'all check out, click on Marie Hill's icon if you want to see some theories that you haven't seen done 1,000 times. Do that. Just click right on her icon. Also on Misha, like how she was telling you that we've got book clubs back on Misha. Nancy T, click on Misha's icon. That's a way to subscribe to somebody very easy. Just do that. Hey, Stacy 27. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. But anyway, Marie says, I think she wanted to control Robin totally, and that was a way for her to do so. I think she was trying to keep him small and kind of under her thumb as long as she could. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. Moni G said, I've got the ultimate spoiler, Grapes of Wrath. Is there something in that book or something about that? Or are they breastfeeding in there because of the depression? I'm not sure where you're going with that, Moni. You're killing me. Hello, Eduardo Blanco. Thank you for coming on in like a friend here. Bubba Husky. I love Bubba Husky's comments. She only mad because Cat, she only got mad because Cat shows up with a prisoner and steals her thunder. She was digging all the attention from her suitor. All right, and I'm going to go to Mackenzie here. Mackenzie's a good supporter of the channel. Mackenzie, did you see Fura Hex's new video, girl? Oh my God, an hour long. Okay, but here we go. She was the lady of the veil and had control, so people can't tell her what to do. So her breastfeeding Robin is something most people can't call her out on, and they would upset their lady. Yes, Marie, Bubba is a riot. Bubba is a riot. You guys, I'm going to turn myself up off camera. I got to take a BC powder.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that whole scene. Yeah, make sure you go ahead and reread the chapter, Sarah, because you'll realize how crazy Caitlyn is, in my opinion. Yeah, that whole breastfeeding scene when she pulled out her breast, in my opinion, it just felt like a complete manipulation of Kat, a complete manipulation of the entire situation. And as we will read later on, she's going to turn that whole trial, Tyrion's whole trial, into an absolute mockery that Tyrion can easily get his way out of.
And Elamar has joined us. And quickly, at the risk of being dirty, yeah, you can join, girl. Let me say this. I bet you there was more than one guy in that room that was turned on by that and was thinking to himself, I'd like a little milk.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
That's a good one. I like this one too.
Welcome, Elamar. Welcome.
Hi. Over here, and this is where I come in about.
Yeah, we were just talking about breastfeeding adults.
Whatever, rocks your boat. I don't know.
I think there's a whole fetish behind that. If y'all want to get serious, I think there's a whole fetish behind that.
Wow, I bet there is a fetish behind anything. Wow,
yeah, that's what I just
Robin, right?
Oh, yeah, good night, Johnny B. Crazy. Everybody click on Johnny B. Crazy. He's just now starting out, but he's got some great Westworld videos, and I couldn't encourage somebody more to start their own channel up. I mean, he's got the thoughts, and he's very nice and personable, and I swear if I was going to play online matchmaker, it would be between you and Sarah. So, yeah, you guys click on Johnny B. Crazy. If you like Westworld, he's got some really great ideas. Check him out. Check him out. Night, Johnny.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, Johnny, and come back next week, okay? We are still continuing on with Caitlyn. Caitlyn, she's making her way up the mountain, talking to the Blackfish and talking about Tyrion, and then we get to where their destination. We get to the Gates of the Moon. The Gates of the Moon itself are is a castle nestled up at the base of the mountain, and at the top of this mountain is the Eyrie. It's very, very high up. I think it's like 3.5 miles in the air. And it is a very, very high place. And Caitlyn herself is going to have to traverse this mountain just to meet with her sister, Liza Aaron. Now, before I go on to that, I think it's really, really rude and, uncaring of Liza not to meet her sister down at the mountain. She's making her sister hop through all of these hoops just to see her. And I really, really resent her for that. I think that as they were growing up, I think that Caitlyn, had some sort of a fear of heights, and I think that Liza would know that. So I really really think that it is really uncaring and very rude and hateful of her just to make her come all the way up this mountain just to visit her.
I haven't thought about it in terms of Liza actually being actively mean to Kat, but she has every reason to be. I mean, they like Kat looks back on her childhood so fondly, and Liza probably looks back and is like, Peter was in love with. Doesn't it be like she like her dad? It seems like their dad liked Kat more. Littlefinger liked Kat more. Kat. They both were married on the same day, right? I mean, they were very together almost like I don't want to say twins, but I mean it's like they were a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like you said, I think somebody mentioned it in the past where Liza, she got to marry this old dude, and Kat got to marry this young hero.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there is some resentment.
She likes Brandon better, but
well, if you have a choice between, well, yeah. Well, anyway,
I'm kidding. Yeah, she made out all right. Like,
well, yeah, absolutely. There's certainly some resentment there, and I'm not trying to. I'm kind of biased when it comes to Liza Aaron.
Speak it.
I just hate her, and I just
I
hate that.
I hate lots of people.
I don't really give her the benefit of the doubt as I should. I know
you're hilarious. You hate lots of people. Oh
not Liza, but I hate lots of people, so I get it.
I feel sorry. I'm a little bit different. I don't hate her.
I know. I feel bad for her because I'm like, been there, bitch. Like, you're a mess.
She definitely has that kind of where you feel like that Marsha type situation going on, and she gets the young, attractive lord of the manor. She gets the old, attractive lord of the manor. But the crazy thing is that would have been enough for a lot of people. I mean, it was actually, it would have been considered a good look.
It's a good life. I mean, would you rather?
Speaking from experience, Wolverton's 16 years older than me. I love it. He's always older than me. I'm always young. 20 years from now, I'll still be a trophy wife. Shit.
Well done, Jen. Well done. I thought Wolverton was a name you made up. I didn't realize it was a family name.
That's our last name. That's really
a cool
our
last name.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Wolverine, but it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, the older, in some cases, but not every case. And I don't think, as far as Liza would go, that she would appreciate being married to John Aaron. We all know who she wanted to marry. It was Littlefinger, who I think was a few years younger than her.
She ran her own game. I mean, like, she campaigned for him to be brought to King's Landing. I mean, she had company married to John Aaron.
That was never going to happen, though, because her father was making power alliances.
Well, for sure. And like, she sort of is on lockdown as far as that goes, right? I mean,
she was in trouble for getting knocked up.
Right. So you're on lockdown. Yeah.
That's a big no-no in this world, because it shouldn't, but it lowers the value of your estimation on the marriage market.
I will say that, I mean, it's like you hate Liza now, but I don't think you learn about it until later when Hoster Tully's dying and he's like carrying on about Tansy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That you're like, oh, that must have sucked for those other two. And how's Kat oblivious to all this? Like, I don't know. There's so much emphasis on the Tully childhood. Bubba Husky, I might just take your thing and run with it. Fuck the Tullys. No, I'm just kidding. I like them. Yeah, I sorry.
Well, I mean, as far as the story goes, I mean, there are points where I do feel sorry for her, because there were a lot of pieces of her life that were out of her control. But there were parts of her life that she could control. And the things that she did control, she just turned it, into a nightmare. You know, she turned herself into a nightmare. She turned, and I'm gonna just say this. I think she is part of the reason why Peter Baelish became Littlefinger.
Do you really?
I do. Really? She helped get him some of his very first positions and give him a little taste of that power. And also some of his most successful schemes and cons really came down to her playing a part in them. And she let him use her and use her and use her up.
So can we hate Hoster instead? Just change it to Hoster.
We can certainly dislike him for not, you know, and okay, I'm going to go again to the two ladies on the panel and anybody in the chat who has children. You treat each child differently because each child is a separate person. Each child, like one child doesn't like jelly. One child doesn't like peanut butter. I'm not just talking about taste. I'm talking about sensitivity and things like that.
I treat each child fairly, but that's sometimes translates to different metrics.
For me, it is different, and my kids know that I treat them differently because not everybody has the same level of need in all the places, and all three of my kids are completely different. Like, it's funny and scary sometimes looking at them. So they know not everybody gets the same treatment. Some kids get more help at school, some less. Some it's just life is not fair. Life is not the same. But everybody gets what they need and what they usually want. But not I mean in my family at least, like they get whatever they need, but not everybody needs the same thing.
Poor Liza though, she's just so we can assume that she's being currently manipulated by Littlefinger, correct? Like she's enjoying having all these like clowns dance around in their armor for her, but she's just playing her cards until Littlefinger can come and marry her. And she's like, I'm gonna, they really leaned into it in the goddamn show, but like they like her, I'm gonna scream when my husband makes love to me. And it's like, oh my God, like those words are the worst from you right now.
That were creepy. That was creepy.
I had a lot of help with schoolwork where I was the kind of child that you could pretty much leave alone and I could do my own, you know, I could get my stuff done. He was the type you had to stay on, do your homework. My brother was more athletic than me, on the other hand. And another thing, I know y'all aren't going to believe this, but I'm going to tell y'all, it's true. I was a very shy child. I was the kind of child, I swear to God. I
believe you.
You would have to coax me into playing a game with you where my brother would just walk right up to people he didn't even know, say at the park, and be like, can I play ball with y'all? You know what I mean? I just feel like children each and all have different personalities. And I think, especially without them having a mother, I think that's probably where a lot of the problems started. And if you look at the story, we've got a lot of households that don't have mothers. We've got the Lannisters who don't have mothers. We've got the Tullys who were motherless. We've got the Stark boys who were motherless. That's actually very interesting that every one of these dynamics was motherless. Now that I think about it, I've never thought about it before.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. Absolutely. And it probably made a difference if you don't have a loving mother. It certainly made a difference.
Well, in today's society, you're more likely to have a mother than a father. And here we have three of the main houses who all had fathers and no mothers. So I think that's very interesting.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of it like that.
I didn't think of it
It's kind of like on Disney stuff, like so many Disney movies have a father figure but not a mother figure, like
or an evil stepmother, like a
you know, like Goofy and all that. There's no mother, and
I can't wait to be your evil stepmother. Just kidding. It's a hard sorry. There's a lot of archetypes.
But like with any story, Liza, I know this, we're still on Caitlyn, right? But like we're good, right, with Liza? So Liza, I'm saying Liza. Oh,
say it however you
want. So she, in the beginning, she was the one manipulating Littlefinger. Like her and Caitlyn were basically making out with him and kind of manipulating him. Yeah. Then he manipulated her or them. And then at the end, he got manipulated. So, or basically, he's dead. He very dead.
He very dead. I mean,
in the show, yeah, absolutely.
In the show, yeah. But
and a redheaded Tully woman put him in the dirt, and I'm cool with that. I'm so fine with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. As a supporter of Littlefinger, I just found that whole scene, as a whole.
All right, Misha, this is why we need to talk more.
Yeah, I mean, that whole scene to me was very hypocritical.
Oh, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it either.
I mean, I just felt like, you're sitting
How do you respond to these charges?
Condemning him to death, for killing, for betraying your father when she done the exact same thing.
So can I be book spoiler right now? The ghost of High Heart has a vision of a maid with like poison in her hair, like poison snakes in her hair. And I love who slays a giant. And I'm like, Sansa's going to fucking kill Littlefinger. That has to happen for me. That has to happen in these books. And so like, even if I don't get the books,
real quick, because Marie Hill has pointed out something that's right here in the text that we're dealing with right now.
I didn't read it. So
that's very important. Above snow, the wind was a living thing, howling around them like a wolf.
Yep.
Thank you, Marie. Good catch. Good catch.
What is that? Wait, say that again.
It said, above the snow, the wind was a living thing, howling around them like a wolf in the waste, from falling away to nothing, as if to lure them into compliancy. Yep. And that one was snow, meaning above was snow, which means John. The wind, I guess, Rob. Howling. Was there howling? Like, did Kat hear howling during the battle or something at some point?
Bran's hearing howling. When Bran's in a coma, he hears howling. I mean, that's because there's actual wolves there, but Arya has dreams about howling.
Yeah. Or like at some point there was a battle and it was dark, and all Kat could hear was the wolves and some other battle sounds, but yeah, that's interesting that it's brought up here. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of references, lots of references.
To
Winterfell in the north. And
Marie said something about snows in capitals. So it's obviously there's meaning to that, referring to the last. And Bubba Husky's saying something about it too, but it's something pertinent that we need to be looking at there, obviously.
Yeah, the snow is the last castle, one of the way castles on your way up to the area. Yeah, on the mountain there are like 3 castles: Stone, Sky.
Right, okay.
So it's not really so much as the winter and the snow that it makes, but just the castle itself. But I do agree with you. There are a lot of references to the Starks here. A lot of references to the winter, and in Winds of Winter, the Veil is going to be one of our main stories.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. And I can't wait for that, you guys. And if you guys haven't, I'm going to say it again. If you guys click on Misha's icon, she has a beautiful where she has done an analysis. Her analysis are a little bit different than everybody else's. Very, very easy to understand and follow along with, and not all this guessing and all this. Click on her icon, check out her analysis of Sansa and the danger of winds.
Yes, that's one of them. And then I have another one called Sansa and the Safety of Winds. And I'm going to do one more later on, when everything cools down on my end. I'm going to do one more video. So everybody go ahead and check out my channel if you haven't. And I hope that you appreciate my theories. I didn't think anyone would even understand them or see them.
Oh, they're great.
I appreciate your take on Sansa Stark. Like, I don't know why I didn't think she was my favorite character until everyone started like hating on her so much, and then I was like, oh, Misha, I always appreciate your take on it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you appreciate it.
And
so much love.
Christy of Old Stones is asking me how I am. I want to address this because it's a thing. I had my meds readjusted today at the doctor and blood work done, and I am feeling 110%, just in case you guys can't tell. So thank you very much for asking. You know, I'm disabled and I have a lot of problems sometimes. Who asked
that question?
Chrissy of Old Stones.
Chrissy of Old Stones. I'm glad you asked. Jen's great, right?
I'm much better. I was having a little bit of trouble last week, but I got it all back together and I'm feeling great and I'm back at work tomorrow. So thank you.
That's great. Yeah. I'm happy that you're doing so much
better.
They
may or may not have a glasses repair kit for $1.
No, they do. At the Dollar Tree, we have a glasses repair kit for $1.
Well, if you're referring to me, then I'm gonna need some whole new frames. So don't.
Right, I got.
Don't fuck around with that whole dollar thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not gonna work this time.
I'm talking about like if a screw comes out. You know what I mean? We have the glasses repair. It's a big seller. It's a big seller.
LMR. You don't wear glasses, nor do you sell the equipment to fix them.
Oh, I do. I do wear glasses.
How do you feel about Caitlyn?
Oh, so many questions. I do wear glasses. I don't like the glare. I took them off
too.
Yeah, and I'm not like blind or anything. I just kind of wear them because I like the way I look with them. I'm vain. I look smarter with them. That's why I wear them.
You can hide not wearing makeup behind glasses.
Right. You know what? Everybody on this panel, in my opinion, is a very attractive lady. And, you know, wear your glasses, don't wear your glasses, whatever you feel like doing. But you each have your own beauty. You each have your own beauty that shines through both inside and outside. So.
Thank you, Jen. We're all beautiful. We are all beautiful.
Glasses or without.
Yeah, I just don't like the glare. I kind of when I have light here, so I don't, not in the dark, and then I see the glare and it just distracts me from, that's the reason.
I've come to terms with that probably on camera where I'm like taking them off and putting them on and not deciding which one I
hate contacts. It's like I have like a foreign thing in my eye and it's just like, no, I can't.
So what did they do about vision in Caitlyn, whatever chapter this is? Like, if you had bad eyes, like I know there's like a mirrorish lens at the wall, look away. But I mean, like, were you just someone who read, and were you a scribe if you could only see in front of you, or were you like a bowman if you could see far away? Like, how much of your life is dependent on just like how you can see? You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And it's not like there was like Riverlanders running around with glasses.
Well, if I may correct you, the
Please.
the mirrorish eye is not glasses. The mirrorish eye is a telescope. So, I mean, if someone has bad eyes and needs glasses, I think they're pretty much a fudge freak. So,
do they go to the Citadel and earn a chain?
Like Bubba Husky's saying good night. I want to say night to Bubba Husky. He's always a big supporter. You guys can find Bubba Husky on Amino. He's big over there on Amino, and he's always willing to lend a hand. Just a all around nice guy.
Thank you.
And I don't like to brag, but I'm going to. Our chat is one of the nicest chats out there. Period. So
we're extra friendly, and that's very much needed.
I was going to say I'm inclined to agree, and that's a good thing.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Let's maybe we can go ahead and get on with
the chapter. Yeah.
Lord, I kind of hate to have to do this.
I'm so glad you did, because there's nowhere good that I'm going. So
that's okay.
No, we need Misha's kind of the voice of reason sometimes that reels us back inward.
Yeah, I kind of hate to have to do that.
No, I love that job. Can that be my job again? Like,
okay. I don't want to feel like I'm, slowing down or raining on anyone's parade. No. I want everyone to have a good time, but I kind of do want to, get on with the chapter.
Move along. Yeah. Time
so
is a factor.
Go on to the next chapter because there's so many to cover.
Yeah, I know. We're never gonna get to wins at this rate.
Hey, I promise y'all one thing. We'll probably be at Wins when Wins comes out.
We'll be like in the nursing home and be like, "Yo, did you hear?"
Oh, and we're gonna have memory issues from what did we do like 5 years ago?
No, I'm so excited. Like, I hope. Like, listen, this is a horrible thing to say, but like, I do not wish dementia on anybody. But I'm like, if I retire mentally, like, I just hope I just live. Like, I could live in Westeros.
What? You want to live in Westeros?
No, if you have to like people who are really confused about what reality is, and they will for instance call their kid their mom and things of that nature. I just sort of think that I just really hope my kids can just put Game of Thrones on, give me books, and
pretend you live in there.
Because I'm I have my own reality in those books, and this is where I'm gonna die, and it'll be fine.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was just going to say if I lived in Westeros, I would be dead within half a.
Oh, I'd be dead by now for sure too. I'm talking about this life.
But Misha, I'm gonna help you with steering off to the book. Have you mentioned Lady Stoneheart at all? Because I have. What is happening to my dog? Can you hear him?
No.
Anyway, okay. I'll let him do whatever he's doing.
Don't let the coyotes eat him.
No. He has asthma. So I'm like, what? Is he okay? Yeah, he's good. But Lady Stoneheart, there are so many references to her. Have you already talked about it today?
Yeah, well, not today, but we did talk about it last week.
Okay.
I will revisit it. It's no problem.
Okay.
Said that 6 men had died on her way trying to get down to the Erie. And she felt like her heart was turning to stone because she
couldn't bring herself to cry for it.
Yeah.
She
was feeling rather suspicious of the friendship that Bronn and Tyrion seemed to strike. Rightly so. Mm-hmm. She started to feel suspicious of the friendship Bronn and Tyrion had struck up after Chicken.
Every moment is a moment that those two are bonding, and Bronn is now bonding with Cat. That Bronn knows where to get paid, and it's to protect.
Bronn is the essential sellsword.
It's like you protect the Lannister dwarf, and Tywin will fucking reward you, right? Like, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
You're okay.
I totally agree with you, and you're absolutely right, Sarah. And it's really telling, as I said before, that the sellswords are leaning more toward the Lannisters than they are leaning toward the Starks. I mean, it's really telling that the sellswords are only concerned about the money.
We see this also with Marillion. We see this also with the singers and whatnot. Anybody who's looking to just make a payday, they know that the Starks are really not known. So it's obviously a continual thing that the Starks are really not known. I don't want to say for not being generous, but not really for the extras.
It's like you have to. It's like it's a privilege to help somebody else. Like your payment is, the fact that you could have helped, that you were helping.
The honor
of helping. And with Lannisters is basically you do something for us, we do something for you with money. So obviously, you want to get paid, especially there. Everybody needs money, and honor to Starks is one thing, but money is, also valued. Not everybody honors honor.
Yeah, I mean, the Starks, from what I've heard and known about them, they've learned how to live sparingly. They don't eat a lot of excess. They
exactly
the winter, horrible winters, but they made it all these years for hundreds of years. So they are professionals at living broke.
Right, at living sparsely and good at it. And, that is going to serve them come these lean times and the long night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially, I don't believe they even have any kind of ties to the Iron Bank.
No. Yeah, I mean, what are they going to spend it on up there? I mean, it's just snow and hills but compared to King's Landing, where you have this lavish lifestyle, and to be anybody, you gotta spend money. You have to have money.
You have to kind of put on.
Yeah.
You have to put on.
Exactly. So
that's why I was always hoping that like Ned would walk out in his direwolf doublet, because people would be like, "What?
What exactly? Like what?"
Yeah.
And
the king needs to represent.
Yeah, I mean, the Starks certainly know how to live broke, as I said before, and they are really good at it, as Sarah said.
Eduardo, my friend, who were you speaking of? Excuse me, Misha. Eduardo, would you put in the chat who you're speaking of in particular? Go ahead, Misha.
Yeah, they know how to live broke, and they know how to live sparingly, and they use their honor as currency as well, which is a smart move on Caitlyn's part, because I don't believe she would have even had enough money to pay those men. She knew what to do without much money, and I think that was very, very smart of her. And she managed to get those men to join her and escort her over to the Vale at great risk to themselves, at their own peril. I mean, 6 folks died. 6 people died.
Okay, this is what Eduardo Blanco has to say about Bronn. Courage he had and strength, but there was no kindness in him and little loyalty. I think that's a direct quote from the book, if I'm not mistaken, and fits him pretty well. Like I said, he is the essential hedge knight sellsword.
We really get a good taste of Bronn when we see him in Clash of Kings. When Tyrion shows up in King's Landing, they really, really go into Bronn there. And on through the rest of the story. And he's nothing but a sellsword. He's looking for a payday. He's looking for the come up.
I will say, one of the things I do like about Bronn is when Tyrion is Hand of the King. I can't remember what title Tyrion gives Bronn, but is it to like train the gold cloaks or know the gold cloaks or some sort of city watch or something? And he's like, only I love that Bronn can just like look and be like, 3 of your guys can fight, 1 of them has hope, the rest are a disaster. And like he can like train people how to fight too. So he's a sellsword, but he can also he trains people how to fight.
Yeah, it's a different kind of fighting. Not everything has to be fair to be,
to be effective. Unfortunately,
it's not fair. I got to tell y'all, unless you're in a ring with a referee, fighting somebody is not fair.
No, nothing is fair about it. I'm inclined to agree, but this is me talking. So,
let's carry on with the story.
Please, Misha.
Yeah. Now, Caitlyn has made it to the gates of the moon, and she's met with Nestor Royce. We're going to see a lot of Nestor Royce in our future books. He's the Lord of the Lesser Branch, and the patriarch of the Lesser Branch of the house of Royce, and the Royce family. The Royce family is a very special family. If you're interested, and this is for everyone, make sure you check out the what's it called? The book. The World of Ice and Fire, and you'll get to know where the Royces came from. Now, the Royces used to be kings. The Royces used to be the kings of the Vale before the Arryns popped up. And I still believe that they still have that kingly entitlement to them. Nestor Royce is vying, for Eliza's hand, wanting to marry her so he can have control of the Vale. So I think this may come to fruition later on in the Winds of Winter. What is Nestor Royce gonna do, and what is Peter Baelish and the Arryns and Sweet Robin, what are they gonna do? I think it's gonna come to head, in the Winds of Winter. So as I said before, if you want to hear more about the Vale, check out A World of Ice and Fire, and there's a beautiful section on it, and they'll go directly into the history of the Vale, and you'll see a lot of references and a lot of things right here in this chapter, and you'll see a deeper explanation in that book.
Is it Nestor Royce Miranda's dad?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, because Amanda Duncan is asking Waymar's uncle. Yeah, I guess that is Bronn John's younger brother, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So I'm realizing, listening to you, that I really need to invest in A World of Ice and Fire, a hard copy, because I have, I think I got it on Audible. Like I bought it somehow, okay, electronically. But the cool thing about it is the pictures, right?
Yeah, it has beautiful artwork in it.
Beautiful artwork. I saw a copy of it, and I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like I didn't know it was so beautiful. Like I want to buy it. I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I started carrying on about that.
You need to buy the actual copy of the book.
Yeah, A World of Ice and Fire, because it's like I think if I had beautiful pictures to go along with it, maybe I would care more what's in it.
Yeah. Here it is right here. And I have the UK version, and that's why my cover is black. The other cover, the US cover is orange, I believe.
I did a silent auction on it, and I was like, I'm glad I was bought out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful book. But anyway,
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Sarah, I want to talk to you later a little bit about the World of Ice and Fire. I can help you with that.
Yeah,
Lamar,
please.
go ahead.
So there's a quote, and actually I was just rereading it earlier today. I wrote it down, but I didn't get exactly what it meant, and then I kind of realize what I think it means. So let me know what you think about it. It talks about Tyrion, and I think it's when Kat is talking to her uncle, or at some point, and Kat, she doesn't say it. It's her thoughts. It says, I see talking about Tyrion, I see an axe on his saddle. And then she kind of goes into describing other things. So when I hear axe and Tyrion, I'm thinking, his face and all that. And then saddle, I'm thinking, okay, what about the saddle? And when you think about it, this kind of looks like a saddle, basically. I mean, it's complete stretch, but the way the saddles are made, they go over the horse, so they're like, it's like a quick dip. And in a book, he gets caught, like his nose gets basically cut off. So an axe on his, thing that is shaped for the saddle. So is this the only time? Do you remember if in the past, because I haven't been here before I joined a couple of weeks ago, but was there ever a mention of Tyrion and an axe or anything done to his face? I'm just wondering about the foreshadowing.
I have one thought. Isn't his weapon of choice is the axe? Is that fair? Like when they're at the end of a Dance with Dragons and they're getting ready to prepare for whatever.
It seems like it is.
He goes for an axe, and he like teaches Penny how to defend herself. Like Penny sort of teaches him how to act around.
Okay.
Adult people, like not adult people. That was the worst word I could have used. They call them like, I don't know. What are they? Big people, tall people, little people.
And we want to say good night to Marie in the chat.
Night, Marie.
Good night, Marie. Good night. Thank you for joining us.
And I hope Bosco feels better. Her doggy Bosco's at the vet. I hope everything's good with him.
He uses an axe when he's in battle. I think he goes after like people's knees and stuff with an axe. In Blackwater,
and that's a smart move for him.
And he teaches Penny how to fight too, I feel. So when you just put out a call for, like, if you can think of anything that has to do with Tyrion and an axe, raise your hand. I'm raising my hand. That's what I know. You. So they say to me, okay, listen, everything you talk about happened in A Feast for Crows or A Dance with Dragons. And I'm like, aren't those the only two books? Like, yeah, sorry.
And then a little bit more about Tyrion. When he talks back to Caitlyn, he says, I'm innocent like a little lamb. And I truly want him to survive, and I'm hoping they will not kill him, that he will be one of the survivors. But when I hear lamb, I'm thinking sacrifice and death, kinda. But can I basically be okay with the fact that he may be okay, and that him being called a lamb maybe was during his trial versus the end game? What do you think? Like, he was kind of like a lamb going to slaughter while he had that trial. Not this trial that's coming up. I mean the trial later on. So I'm just wondering, like, I'm rooting for him to survive, and I'm hoping that the whole lamb thing already passed before season 8 will hit.
Well, as far as the television goes, I don't think they're gonna kill him off. He's too beloved a character. Not. He's too beloved a character. And it's only one season left, and I don't see Tyrion getting killed. It's just, it never even occurred to me that they would kill him off.
It would be so empty. It would be so empty. Just not right. It would not be right. Their voice would be gone. Like, yeah.
And you know, when I first started falling in love with the show, of course, I love so many characters, but Tyrion, as far as show watching, he was probably the first character for me to fall full head on in love with.
Again, there are differences between the show and a book, but I still like when I kind of think about characters in general, looking at both show and the TV, he's the only one that I really don't want to die. Like, yeah.
He'll never die. They'll never kill him, because George R. R. Martin himself said that Tyrion was his favorite character.
Okay.
Was his favorite character, so he's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. You'll be safe, hon.
He's the safe, yeah.
Yeah, he's
the saved one. That would be nice. There's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, is there where did I stop? Oh, they've met Nestor Royce. They met Nestor Royce, and they're meeting Maya Stone as well for the first time. Maya Stone works for the lesser branch of House Royce. And she's the mule tender. She is the one who carries the food up and down the mountain.
I love Maya Stone. I love Maya Stone. She encourages. You were talking about the arduous journey up the mountain.
Yeah.
She's like, if you just close your eyes, the mule will do the work. And like, she was so
guide. She's a guide. Like like she doesn't even do. Touch you to guide you, like she made her walk.
I hate Robert Baratheon, but I love all his bastards. They're like my favorite people ever.
Oh yeah, the bastards are pretty cool.
Yeah, like Gendry and Maya Stone are like solid. I love them.
There's something about her name, Maya Stone. And there was a sentence that she said, there was a phrase. She said, Maya Stone, if it pleases my lady. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, May a Stone, if it pleases my lady. So Stone, lady, Stoneheart. I'm like, oh my gosh, she just had to say it in one sentence.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, I didn't even think of it like that. It never even occurred to me. Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
It's fun.
Everyone can see what I can't see. And I'm hoping that I can see what others can't. So yeah, I love.
We all have insights. Like I love this. So when we're here, because everybody, like we said it before, Misha, everybody brings something cool, and we're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Like for this chapter, Lady Stoneheart just screamed at me. There's so many things that are mentioned. There's so many stone references. It said something. All she saw was stone and trees when she lifted her eyes. And again, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, trees, like for hanging people, stone, like for hanging, and she's, stone. Her heart is stone. She cannot feel anything. Like Jen said, she couldn't cry for them. So it's like she's losing herself in this chapter. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She is certainly losing herself. She even said that herself right in this chapter.
Yeah.
And she felt like her heart was turning
to stone. Mm-hmm.
And she was, apparently she's right about this, because by the time of her death and afterwards,
she was not herself.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And not things like she couldn't remember things. And not that couldn't remember, but and then the way she was eating later on, it's like things were all over her face, and she didn't care how she looked at that point. So it was very odd, because she's a lady.
She ate like someone who was hungry.
Yeah, basically she was not an animal, but like somebody who doesn't give a rats, whatever. about anything.
She gets the implication of her going for it. And she goes for it anyway.
A rat's ass, Eleanor.
Yeah. I try not to swear. My kids are next door, so.
Oh, yeah.
They hear enough of it, I'm sure, but today it's been a good day. I don't want to do that.
Oh, you didn't. How did the thing go? How did the have the talent show go?
It was beautiful. She's gonna be 13. Samantha, you maybe saw her in one of my videos.
That's the one I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. She, oh my gosh, she blew us away. People, and I'm gonna probably post it private to you guys if you ever wanna, because I'm not just talking, crazy being a mom. Oh my God. I mean, I was out of breath, just like trying not to shake the camera, and my father was crying. I'm like, Dad.
Oh gosh,
it was beautiful.
See, because I thought you were talking about Grace, because she already does choir.
Oh yeah, Grace, my older one, she does choir. That was the thing. Well, yesterday, it's been a crazy week. What is it? Whatever the day, Thursday, it's been crazy. Yeah, but she's in choir. She has a beautiful voice too. I kind of take it for granted, although I don't take it for granted. But she's had her voice for a long time. After I kind of nudged her a little bit, now the young one is starting to sing, so it's amazing. Anyway, sorry to take your time.
So, well, no, y'all, but she was in a talent show tonight. And yes, that's why Eleanor was late.
Yeah,
such a musical household. Like
we are.
Keep the camera running.
Yeah. I'm telling you, my husband can play whatever the thing is called. I don't even know that. So he writes songs for me and he plays me stuff. So and then the kids sing for me, and my son is like this, he will tell you a story, and oh my God, yeah. And I'm the one who can't shut up. We're all talkative. Anyway, sorry guys. Let's get back to the book. But thank you, Jen.
Misha, where are we?
I'm writing you a message, Sarah, so just give me a second.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, we were talking about Lady Stoneheart.
So what happens after Liza breastfeeds Sweet Robin in front of Kat? What happens after that?
We haven't quite gotten there yet.
So that's completely the end of it. So like
that's
maybe
the end of it?
Yeah,
okay.
Meaning so there's still a couple things here before.
Oh yeah.
So let's see, Maya Stone. Then the lady, it's like hot juices dripping down her chin when the lady, I'm calling her Lady Stoneheart, when Kat was eating. And then the way she was walking, it was kind of weird. Again, kind of, is he snoring? Oh my God. So sorry, I hear things. So yeah, her eyes, when the wind, because it was very windy over there, and when the wind was blowing at her face and kind of from behind, her hair was in her eyes, and then it said the image was scary. So I can just imagine the way you imagine Lady Stoneheart, like all weird and kind of animal-like, and her hair messed up. Usually Kat's hair is at least, it's maybe messy on the bottom, but she always has it kind of nice and neat. Just that image that they gave us with the wind, making her just scary. I see Lady Stoneheart like with this creepy face and hair all over.
This whole situation here with Maya Stone helping Caitlyn, and Caitlyn is scared. And I think Misha and Sarah had mentioned it earlier. And then it does say right here that Maya tells her, well, Lady Liza said for her to be awakened the moment you arrive. And Caitlyn says, well, I hope she had a good night's rest, with a bite in her.
Bitch, why are you not awake? Halfway.
Like exactly what Misha was saying. Like she was extremely resentful at the fact that this is not a sister who, just like Tyrion had told her in the previous chapter, oh, you haven't seen your sister in a while. You have no idea, what kind of cuckoo you're in for there. But basically, she's already a little bit put out that the fact that they have not seen each other in so long, regardless, whatever the reason is that she's coming, and she's not there to greet her.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, you can really tell the resentment going on, and it's some resentment on Caitlyn's side too. Just saying that, well, I hope she had a good night's sleep. I mean, there's a lot of resentment going on, and especially if a man is involved, Yeah, women can tear each other apart if a man is.
But that was weird. What Kat said. I mean, I'm close with my sister. We don't see each other too often because she lives far away. But like if it were, I don't. I think that journey is during the night, right? So I'm not sure. But let's say if it's at night, and that's the reason why Liza is sleeping. I mean, I would let my sister sleep. I'm not expecting, for people to be like, going like this. Whereas my sister, I don't want them to be up just because I'm up. I'm not that needy. I want them to be rested and to welcome me, throw me, dinner and give me some food, not be up when I'm up. Like I wouldn't. Right. That's not sisterly. Like I don't want my sister to suffer just because I'm suffering. It's not about being fair. It's about being, life. Yeah.
Yeah, but your sister, you may love your sister.
I do
that way. Yeah.
Let me tell you about how the other way it works.
Oh my gosh.
Chrissy of Old Stones have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Hope you enjoy the series.
Oh, you will. She's got some good stuff there, you guys.
And Eduardo, thank you, Eduardo, for subscribing to me as well. I hope you enjoy the story. Thank you so much.
To just back up a little bit, I was just talking a little bit of shit about having a sister. I love my sister, but she and I are like within a year of each other, and like Sansa and Arya, Liza and Caitlyn, like all these sister. It gets, of course, my own bias is playing in, but I just don't talk about her specifically. So love you, dear.
That's funny. Yeah.
Love
That's
you.
how it was before. Yeah, it's all changing. Like we're all, people. People have the thing about them that
and
they evolve.
Sometimes not talking to your sibling is the best thing. I'm not talking about that one specifically, but like, are you supposed to be best friends?
What is the thing? Like, I can't miss you if you're not, or if you're not gone. Yeah, or what is that thing? How does it go?
I don't know, but
it's the thing. Like, I can't miss you if you're still here. You have to go so I can miss you. Yeah, something. I don't know. I heard it somewhere.
Let me remember your good qualities, please. Graham.
Excuse me, Sarah. Can I get your email address, please?
Oh yeah.
If that's okay. I'm gonna give you a gift here.
Misha, how do I make LMR a moderator? Do you know?
I think you just click on my name and then choose it on the menu.
Yeah. Click on it or right click. Try them both.
Okay, hold on. Open image, save image, copy image. No. Okay.
That's okay, Jen. I would just. That's okay.
I know how to do it when we're not in the thing. You know what I mean?
If you have the chat open in the actual chat on YouTube,
I don't. How do I do it like that? I always watch it on my phone.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't want you just because we don't need to stop.
Can you do it, Misha? Are you allowed to make one?
Let me try.
Okay. I don't watch the chat on the computer. I watch it from my phone.
Who wants to be a moderator? Who wants to be a moderator?
LMR. Make LMR one so that she can share her links in the
Well, thank you guys.
Go to channel report, remove, put user in timeout, hide this user on. I don't believe I can do it.
Well, that's okay. We can do it some other time.
Yeah,
I wanted to bring up.
Jennifer, you're gonna have to do it. Yeah, just click when you go to the chat and see LMR's comments. Click. There should be 3 little buttons, 3 little dots.
Okay, but how can I pull the chat up like right now?
Okay, go to wherever on YouTube where we're streaming live, and look for the chat box. And there should be an option there. If you click on the buttons on the three dots, there should be an option.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not on. I've got the thing up full. You know what I mean?
Jen, what are you trying to do?
Make LMR a moderator.
Can we do that now?
Hold on, I can do it. Hold on.
All right.
Well, let me go ahead with the story.
Y'all go ahead, and I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, Misha, I'll talk to you. They can work that out.
Okay. They're making their way. They've met Maya Stone, and she's just a young thing. She's like maybe 16 or 17 years old.
Who is the boy she thinks she's gonna get with? Who is the boy she thinks?
Michael Redford. He's the son of a
Michael Redford.
Oh, Richford,
like,
I think.
Yeah.
Like Robert Redford.
Michael.
What's his name?
Yeah, I guess Michael Redford. That's his name.
Michael Redford. All right.
Yeah. He slept with her apparently. Apparently they've had sex.
So I love that Kat is like, oh, the poor dear thinks she's gonna actually get a good marriage.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, but like, that's how she like sizes Jane Westerling up too. She was like, you know what the best thing about this bitch is her hips. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god.
Like, I'm sorry, she didn't say that. But like being a good having a baby. What?
No, I was just laughing.
That was hilarious.
She say that she knows. She's like Jane's all right, but you know what's gonna win this war is her hips. Doesn't she say something like that?
Later? I don't know, but I like it. I'm gonna remember it like as if it was said. I'm gonna remember it like that.
It's now canon. It's gone. This is what it is.
It's odd how she is.
I love hearing about her. I love hearing about her eating like she's starving. Like I love hearing about her. Like you normally hear of you hear of starving characters eating that way. Mm-hmm. Like oh, the fat dribbled down their lips. Like
Hound.
Arya. Like people who are like walking barefoot in the mud are so excited about food, and Kat's that excited about food, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They call it food porn for a reason. I don't know. It's very descriptive. Works.
That's funny.
As far as Maya Stone goes, Kat didn't really like her at all because she was a bastard. They also explain a little bit what the last names of the bastards mean. Stone is a bastard name in the Vale. Snow is in the north. Flowers and High Garden. There's every name for every part of the Seven Kingdoms.
Sand is Dorne.
Right, Sand is Dorne. Waters is King's Landing and all of the surrounding areas. And the Storm is of the Stormlands. And
Edric Storm. Yeah, Edric Storm, another awesome Baratheon bastard. Continue.
Mm-hmm. And yes, and that was a very good piece of information. And she obviously didn't really like her in the beginning. She did not like Maya in the beginning, but in time, you know, she's gonna have to realize that she's gonna need some help.
And ironically, her little baby girl is about to go be a bastard of the Vale. So have fun.
Yeah, and isn't that because of John? I think it was mentioned there somewhere at some point. Yeah, Maya, like Ned. You go ahead.
Yeah, it made her think of John. It made her think of John and all of the problems that she's had with Ned and John and that whole storyline, you know. And it's really sad because it seemed like the lowborn people treated her with more kindness than the highborn. And I think that is also true of Sansa. You know, she looks at a person and she judges them by their looks and by their status in life. But as we read, you know, through the Sansa chapters, we notice that the people that are helping her the most are the lowborn people. You know, so there's that air of superficiality. You know, she gets that directly from Caitlyn, you know.
Yeah, it's like they're people of that with the blue blood and all that. They're like bloodhounds. They smell blood. Like, okay, what blood is in your veins? Like, are you highborn? Are you lowborn? Like, you can smell your own kind.
So I think that Sansa was trained that way. Oh yeah. But I also think she is somebody who is like pays attention to what gets results. And sometimes that's getting along with the Hound. Sometimes, you know, like that.
She learns it. Yeah.
Did it work, you guys?
Oh, let me see.
And Sarah, did you get my email? I did some things.
I did. I sent it back to you. I have the Kindle. I have it on my Kindle, but I saw the real version and I'm like, why am I dicking around with a Kindle? I need this book. So
Jen, it didn't, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. That's okay. That's okay. there is I wanted to bring up Caitlyn's marriage, because since we were talking about how she's upset kind of about Maya, and then she remembers John, and then I'm thinking she's resentful for many reasons on that. But what do you think, guys, as women here? There's a guy, your husband apparently comes home from the war with another baby, and he basically shushes her. I can't talk today.
Shushes her.
Exactly. Like the topic is closed. Like no more talking about it. That is not fair. I mean, the best, I guess, I'm assuming I never had anything like that, but I guess the best thing to do is talk it out, to deal with it, to close the topic, the whole subject, and move on. I don't think they ever. I mean, we know they never discussed it at all. It's never closed. That's why that marriage is based on that. That will always be like something that did not heal. In order to move on, you have to go through all the stages, anger, whatever. Yeah.
I will absolutely say that the way that was handled was probably not ideal. Like, as someone who tends to stick up for Kat.
Yeah, but he didn't know her, right? But he didn't know her. He didn't know her. Exactly. He didn't know if he can trust her.
And in her defense, like, she was like, you know what? She knew who she was marrying with Brandon Stark. Like, he was sort of a man whore, right? Yeah. She's like, it's not even a big deal to have a bastard, but to raise it in my house, like it in my house, you know, like he could have sent that shit to White Harbor, but like Jon Snow does not belong in White Harbor, but like he could have sent him some, if I think Lyanna made him promise.
I do feel for her. But again, back then, obviously it's not real world, but I guess that was like that. In our world too.
Building, and it's like, it's like in her world, she understood what was going on. In her world, she understood what was going on enough to like have Tyrion arrested. So to me, I'm like, she obviously gets things that I don't get.
So that was just something that I don't see. I don't think I would ever be able to get past it if something like that happened and the guy never talked about it. First of all, obviously I would be done. But if I couldn't be done completely, so it would be a big open sore forever until it's closed.
I think another tricky thing about it, if I remember correctly, is that like Jon looks like Arya, who looks Stark. Like Jon looks more Stark than her Tully Robb, than her Tully Sansa, than like her, you know,
the rest of the kids.
So I mean, and like have you ever had a kid break his or her back and not wake up, and you sit by their side and then you say something terrible to Jon Snow about like, I wish it was you who fell off. Like, I everything that people criticize Kat for is legit, but it's like she's a human. Like, she's a woman, she's a mother, but she's also human. So you could try to have some understanding.
You know, exactly. She's been lied to. She thinks she's been betrayed, but she has been. She has every right to her anger. But I have to say that it's Ned's fault. It's Ned's fault. And I mean, that's the person that I blame the most, because he could have told her the truth. But in doing so, in telling her the truth, it would have risked Jon's safety.
Exactly, because she would be too nice. Yeah,
he chose, to protect, his son, well, not his son, his sister's son over Caitlyn. And it's, man over woman, in this world. So
a family.
Put
like a blood family.
And I would say, yet we judge Jaime and Cersei. Like, I kind of wonder, like, listen, I'm not pro twincest, okay? we love Lyanna and her brothers who would do anything for her and go burn alive and go to the wall and marry Catelyn Stark when one of them ran off with Rhaegar Targaryen. Like, what the hell?
No, it's a double standard, I guess. I mean, for Targaryens it was fun, and we think
for Lannister's twins it's not okay.
Exactly.
Like Joanna L was not having that. She was like split them up on different ends of Castle Rock, it's cute that where they can you imagine though? I mean, goddamn, I have a hard time with those Cersei chapters for so many different reasons, but can you imagine like trading clothes with your brother and being treated so differently?
Yeah.
So differently. Yeah. Like you sort of invented gender fluidity right there, Cersei.
I mean, there's always and again, I guess with my family, there's like that rivalry. I can't talk today. They're rivals. Yes, thank you. Oh my god,
still better than me.
Gosh, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock here, and I'm getting up tomorrow early. Anyway, so yeah, they're kind of against each other, and like any family, like they're trying to get on their parents' good side, and kids see everything, the whole unfairness. Oh, mommy gave you this, mommy gave you that, daddy did this. Like, really?
Can I just ask? Like, we've talked about breastfeeding.
Like, okay, oh, that's right. So there was more
right now. Like, does anyone have a brother, and has anyone ever wanted to have sex with their brother? Like,
No.
But like, I don't understand what's happening with those two. Why is that happening? Like, can we talk? That's not right. Right?
That is something psychological from my background. I would say that's more psychological issue, kind of like she says, like I always found
rooting for them in the show. I'm like, oh, they're such a cute couple. Wait a minute, they're
not couple, yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, there's something in us. There's something. I'm sure you read it somewhere, but there is a reason.
You're not supposed to be attracted to
no
siblings.
Not even that. It's biology, the survival thing in us. Like, let's say back whenever people didn't have chronicles of who was related to whom, there was the thing in our bodies that kind of prevented us from mating, I guess, with
so people. That's like wildlings are so into genetics.
No.
Because they're like, you don't mess with people in your tribe. You go outside the tribe for a strong
But there's this thing, like, basically you kind of are not attracted. And again, let me go into the thing. Basically, you smell your family members smell bad to you. They smell bad. Yeah. So whatever.
Honestly, there's something to that. Like, people that you're attracted to
like
smell
family
a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's the thing where we're inclined to not be attracted to somebody we are being, like, it's offensive, like the smell, not that, people smell, but the chemistry between what's on somebody's skin and what goes through our nose and our brain and how it reacts with our stuff. We're not supposed to be attracted to them because they smell not nice to us. Not that they stink, but you know what I mean. There's no chemical thing. But apparently that didn't work for Jaime and Cersei, because maybe that need to be together was, to stick together, to feel safe.
To go back to the motherless theme, like we're talking about everyone seems to have not had a mother. Like, who's had a great mother in this? Like, we can talk about all the dick fathers, but like, who's had a good mother?
Who has had a good mother?
Well, Sansa, didn't she have a nice mother?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Sansa
what?
Had a nice mother.
Stark was a pretty decent mother.
To Sansa, I mean, she's
not. And Sansa was old enough to remember, like, too, like Rickon. But like Sansa had a good mother, but then she fell into Cersei's clutches and is sort of motherless once her mom gets like fed to the river and.
Marguerite Tyrell had a pretty. She had a
hilarious
decent grandmother.
High towers.
I mean, well, they had. She at least had an interested grandmother.
Yeah,
maybe would not say she's the best grandmother, but she had definitely a grandmother that was interested in her well-being.
Yeah. What about Cersei? She was being a great mother to her kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Was she? Which one?
No, Cersei. To all. Didn't she love all her children?
I think her loving them is what killed them. I think she's evil.
Oh, love can kill, but her intentions were.
Misha, you were talking about like irrational hatred. I have irrational hatred towards. I feel so terrible for what happened to her, but I also hate the way she treats her kids so much that I can't get past, which is Cersei. I hate her. I hate her.
What do you mean? How do you say that she treated her kids?
Her kids.
Like what?
I hate the way she manipulates her kids.
Oh yeah.
And to be like, I'm going to be in charge through Joffrey, and I'm going to have Joffrey put to bed when Tywin puts him to bed so that I can sit with him and like.
So she actually states it? She actually states that she wants to control them, or she just wants to be loved by them?
No, she loves Tom in the most pliable.
You know, I think as a mother, like, I don't do that. I hope I don't do that.
Well, listen, we're not ruling 7 kingdoms either.
Yeah. But as for her, like any mother, I guess I'm taking from my perspective, I would want my children to be good, whatever good means to me, I think, in my perspective.
All right, try now.
I would steer them.
Try now, LMR. Try now.
Okay, testing.
What?
Where am I? Am I blue? No, I'm not blue. I can't even spell. I wrote testing. That's okay, Jen. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
No, I got it. I swear to God.
Okay, does anyone in the chat have questions? I'm going to start looking right now. If anyone in the chat has questions.
I have a question.
Well, I don't understand.
But next time.
That's the end of the world.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Way to make it work.
Don't worry. There's a quote here that I wrote
it
for.
It says you're a moderator.
Oh. Well, the quote is torches just blind you. There's there were basically when Maya was Maya told her not to get the torch. I'm saying Jen because anyway and Kat was trying to light a torch because it was so dark over there, and she said that torches blind you. So that reminded me of Varys, not Varys, Arya chapter where Varys had his torch like right here, and Arya was standing almost kind of in front of him, and he couldn't see anything because of the torch. Even though you have the light, even though you think you see stuff, even though you think the thing is helping you see better, you're blinded. That light blinds you. Again, kind of a torch blinding quote.
No, that's a good point. She was standing right there listening to them, and they didn't see a thing.
Yeah. There's also a thing about what is it? The mule that she had. It said her mule was white. White is a good one. And then it says, sure of foot even on ice. So I'm thinking, are they talking about maybe Jon Snow? Are they talking about Ghost? Are they talking about White Walkers being sure of foot, meaning steady on ice?
Well, they could be talking about Bran. He was sure-footed.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sure-footed.
He sure was. In fact, it says he was always sure-footed till that one time, which was what was so damn suspicious about the whole situation.
Even Lewin was like, he wouldn't have fallen.
He had always been sure-footed before. I think so. Maester Lewin's exact words, Sarah.
I'm gonna out someone I work with as being from West Virginia, and from like mountain town, and there's been floods to the point where the only people who can like sort of get around are the people with like jackass, donkey, like it exists in mountains now. That's like you get those sure-footed animals. I'm looking for gentleness because
I know that when you like say that you're in the desert or you're kind of in the mountains or whatever, you wouldn't go on horseback. You would take a mule, which is
not necessarily like a jeep.
Lower to the ground.
Right. Like, would you go out in a jeep? No. Would you go out on a donkey? Probably. Yeah. A donkey would be fine. Like,
well, they're more sure-footed, like what you're saying.
Yeah. And then lower center of gravity too.
Yes.
There's something about them.
And I mean, have you guys ever like flown and landed in a mountainous area, like, and you get the altitude sickness? Like, can you imagine?
Flown?
What's that?
What do you mean flown?
Oh, I mean like
in an airplane.
I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah.
But,
I mean, not like with wings. I'm sorry.
No. I just like I'm not sure what you meant by and by mountain, like mountain air, like.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know that. Like, I went to Utah. I visited friends in Utah, and I was never so sick before in my life.
Oh, like the higher altitude,
yeah.
right?
Oh man, I was a mess.
Yeah,
like, I had like one of the more
weird.
Beers. It's like 2% alcohol. I had like one beer.
Oh gosh.
And, no, but like I was so sick, and I was like, it couldn't have been from that. like, it's,
yeah.
No, that altitude, that really like. That affects like that. My mom is somebody who gets sick from even watching a merry-go-round go around.
So they have different like baking instructions for how like
because
high altitude baking.
Yeah.
So
because you have less air, meaning over there you breathe in air, and somebody in the chat correct me if I'm talking.
No, it'll make things
because
say it with authority and no one will question you.
Sure. So yeah, when you're up there, there's less air, less oxygen in the air, and then you breathe it in, and your blood doesn't have as much oxygen. That's why your brain is kind of like loopy. But then if you put alcohol in the body, so it replaces more stuff, and
so I had
bad thing
like 2% alcohol beers, and I woke up as hungover as I've ever been in my whole life. And I'm like, this is impossible. But I guess
the best parties. So the best parties are in the valleys, right?
So
go find a valley.
Go to a mountain and have one beer, and you're gonna be wrecked for the week.
No, I mean like
Panama City Beach, Florida, 1998.
That's another place I'd die, Jen.
Funneling Heineken. I don't know what came over me, but I mean, and when you go to Florida, you're only there for a few days. I was sick off these funneling these Heineken beers for like a full 24 hours from like 7 to 7. You know what I mean? It wasted like a whole day of my trip. My friends,
I heard.
It was terrible.
I heard somewhere that like when you drink alcohol, whenever you like slurp it, meaning like it just kind of, you don't just swallow the alcohol, you kind of have it in your mouth anyway, it gives you more of a buzz because the alcohol gets absorbed quicker under your tongue. That's why some of the medicine like pills take them under the tongue, because the skin I'm saying skin, the tissue and the blood vessels that are there. I'm being like weird right now.
Russell gets vertigo occasionally.
Yeah.
And that makes him like really sick at his stomach, you know, amongst other things. But the medicine they give him to make him feel better for his stomach sickness is a little kind of, because I take it sometimes too when I feel really sick.
Yeah.
It's like a cherry flavored tablet you stick under your tongue.
Yeah, that's a lot of medicines, I think, are basically because of how blood vessels are there in the skin and how quickly it gets absorbed. But anyway, like a side note here. So if you don't want to get drunk, just swallow the alcohol. If you want to get drunk right away, just kind of sip it, slurp it. Not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna work.
Right.
Yeah, so they're there, and when she was stepping on those stones, it said steps like a stone ladder, and that again, I'm thinking, okay, steps like a stone ladder. So she's slowly becoming Lady Stoneheart, and I'm like so on the Lady Stoneheart right now. But this is her chapter, so again, when they were saying that she was crossing that that area that she had to cross, the dangerous area, to become Lady Stoneheart in a way, because she was stepping on those stones.
Okay, here's a good point, and here's the point I was trying to make earlier. Caitlyn was at a loss for words. John Aaron's son, she thought incredulously. She remembered her own baby, 3-year-old Rickon, half the age of this boy and 5 times as fierce. Small wonder the Lords of the Vale were restive. For the first time, she understood why the king had tried to take the child away from his mother to foster with the Lannisters. We're safe here, Lysa was saying. Whether to her or to the boy, Caitlyn was not sure. Don't be a fool, Caitlyn said, the anger rising in her. No one is safe. If you think hiding here will make the Lannisters forget you, you are sadly mistaken. Which brings me to mind Sansa. You know, we're always comparing Sansa to Caitlyn, or we have a lot in a lot of our Caitlyn Sansa talk lately. There's Caitlyn with almost some of Sansa's exact words. Nobody's safe anywhere. You can't make somebody safe. You just can't.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. When she, as she was staying in the Eyrie, she said that she did feel safe there, but down below, it was another story altogether. And just reading that quote just makes me think of Sansa, in the Winds of Winter. If you think that the Lannisters have forgotten you, and certainly Cersei hasn't forgotten. In one of Cersei's chapters, she said it outright: "I have not forgotten the little she-wolf." And hearing, what Caitlyn just said, saying that the being here will keep you safe, won't keep you safe, and so on and so forth. I mean, it brings me right back. It brings me right back to the Winds of Winter and what Sansa's going to be going through in those books. And it's nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe anywhere. I mean, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion of safety.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Elamar.
I was just saying about safety. She's climbing that treacherous mountain or mountains and all that. And there's this quote that I have about the wind. It said, "Caught by fear, the wind tried to pull her over the edge." What was Rob's wolf? Was he wind? Grey wind? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then, because I'm thinking, caught by fear, the wind tried to pull her over the edge, basically kind of killing her, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Rob's actions, whatever he did, killed her, because whatever Rob did by getting with his lady instead of getting with whoever he was supposed to get with, got her killed.
She gave Lord Frey, who she had known since she was a girl, her solemn oath that her son, and it says in the text that they really didn't plan on killing Caitlyn Stark till she killed who? Jingle Bell? Was that his name? Yeah. But then they killed her in retaliation, basically, and they didn't need much reason.
Yeah, but they might as well have killed her anyway.
Right, but I think they had planned on keeping her hostage, as with Edmure. But really, yes, words are wind, as we hear through the text many times. And Rob's lack of promise got his mother killed, and all of the people with him, basically, which is what Lord Glover says.
Sybil Spicer. Spicer planned the whole thing, right?
With Tywin Lannister.
Yeah, Sybil Spicer was like, I'm going to entrap, I'm going to use my dopey daughter to seduce the dopey king, who's like honor obsessed, and we'll marry her.
Good night, Chrissy. Oh, see, LMR. See, I got you, girl.
I'm blue.
I got you.
Thank you. That's funny. That's
it is funny that I do something like one time and then forget how to do it, but I went in there and I figured it out, damn it.
Awesome.
And that's what life is about. Yes, women can do whatever men can do, people.
Speaking of that, anybody seen my post at some point somewhere? I don't know where I did that.
Be more specific, dear.
Alrighty. Well, I was in a pickle because I do have a very long commute and on a highway, and it's like, an hour, and people are crazy at that time. And my blinker light was off, and my husband,
I saw this. You took care of yourself. You took care of business.
Yeah, and he usually takes care of that for me, but he basically is traveling right now for work. So poor me. There's so many people are honking. Like, I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't want to die here on the road because they don't see me and I can't reach. Okay, I'm turning. I did that. He was kind of a support, and I did it. I changed a light bulb on my car in the back, and I didn't brake.
You go.
Yay, go
you
me.
Go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, girl. You guys, LMR has a book out. It's called Titans of the Stars, and it's very good. And it's not my normal genre. And I say that, you know, in a good way. It's not something I would normally, you know, I have a Kindle. In fact, I have a couple Kindles. I'm a Kindle loving full. Yes, it says classy, sassy, and a little smart assy.
That's your Kindle cover?
Yes.
That's awesome, isn't it?
The whole point of the Kindle is to be able to read bullshit with no one seeing you.
Exactly.
What are you putting that on there for?
My mom picked that, you guys. My mom, you guys would love my mom. She is got a great sense of humor, a really kind lady. But anyway, LMR has a book, you guys. Please click on her icon and become part of her channel and what she's doing over there. She's doing big things. I mean, she's got a book that's going to be 3 parts basically. And it's good. It's a really good book. And I've got to warn you guys though, it's a little bit sexy. I mean, it's at least as sexy as Game of Thrones. So get ready to blush. Yes, indeed, honey.
Thanks, Jen, for mentioning it. Oh my gosh, I feel kind of. Whew. Yeah, it's.
Right.
I got people who read it from here. They seem to love it. I got a couple good reviews already. So thank you for those who took time and.
I haven't done mine yet, but I promise I'm going to. It is on one of my
no pressure or anything. Only if you have time. I'm not pressuring anybody into it. But if you like it, just drop a review if you enjoyed it.
I have it right here. It's what I'm reading right now. It's just right now with all the streams and my job. It's busy. I don't have as much time as I normally do, but there it is, you guys. It's really beautiful. Everything about it. It's really great. You guys check that out. And LMR answers. We're going to eventually do a stream where she is going to talk about this book. I hope. I've still got to talk her into it.
Oh no! Whenever you have time and. We have to cultivate a fan base too. You have to give the audience time to read it.
Absolutely.
I want to read it, but I haven't done any steps towards making that happen. To be perfectly honest, I'm so sorry. Like I'm going to read it. I haven't read it yet.
That's okay. But it's also not for everybody. Not everybody. I don't want to, because you're hearing it, because it's kind of a racy book. It's not about that. Basically, it's life, and life is sometimes racy, at least. Yeah.
It's not, y'all. It's not. It's in the book or
it's
all
part of life.
Love.
So there's a lot
of kindness and friendship and loyalty. But it does have some racy parts. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not what the book is about.
Say that of George R.R. Martin. Like, can we say that? Like people are like oh, it's violent and there's sex in it, but there's also like all these other emotions that are not just there.
Oh yeah, it's just that some people are offended by stuff like that. Although I shouldn't say offended because we're all listening to and hearing, George R.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're going.
Let me put it this way: if you have read Game of Thrones,
you're fine.
You're fine, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
The Stars is not going to even make you blush.
I just don't want to, because not everybody likes that kind of stuff, and if somebody sees a little bit too much, I guess, boob somewhere, they are offended. I don't want to offend anybody. Anyway, I recommend it. Apparently, I wrote it. I recommend it.
I'm gonna plug somebody right now. So I'm gonna plug somebody right now who does. Alicia Kingston does not a lot of writing at Guyana Rose, and a lot of her stuff is like very fan fiction-y based, and it's well done. And like if you're, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm just gonna talk about that, and
There's a lot of that on Amino. There's a lot of good fan fiction over there on Amino. If you're not a member of Amino, I suggest that you join that community to get you through the long night. There's a lot of articles on there, and people put their like chats and stuff on there after too. It's a good way to find new chats that you didn't already know about, new videos and stuff.
And articles. I mean, there's people who are very there's like challenges, and then there's these people who all participate in these challenges where they all try and write up something. And it's, I don't know, if you're into reading what people are writing, it's a good place too. It's not just for YouTube videos.
Somebody got me to role playing on there the other day. And I was like, what? I'm like, I've never done that before. And they were like, well, you just do that. And they were like, oh, you're pretty good.
Okay, well, Jen.
I'm like, you're actually pretty good.
There you go. I was going to say, keep it a secret. Get your own business.
And Bubba Husky's got in the chat, Thrones Amino, free from your app store. Whether you have Android or you have iPhone.
He's my buddy on there.
Mine too. Mine too.
He's my friend on there. Hello.
Yeah, if somebody got me to role playing on there the other day, and I was like, well, just tell me how. Yeah. And they were like, well, you got to pick. And
I did one time. I wrote an undead. I wrote a dragon. Yeah, I was like, you just let them talk, and you're like
Cersei on there, and I guess they were playing Eddard Stark.
Okay.
Yeah, it got pretty good. It got pretty good. I had to go to work. I was like, well, I've got to go to work, but I messed around with it for about an hour. It's a great, it's a great thing to do if you're looking for something to do. There's always somebody on there. There's usually about 40 or 50 people on there at any given time. And you can find
what somebody. Else I like? I like the quizzes. Like it's like sort of the embodiment of all of like the addictive apps I do. It's like I can pick out pretty clothes. I can pick out quizzes. Like I can like robotically tap at quizzes. And then there's good things to read too. So I like it. Val, because geek is how I initially heard about it, but then it was Fred Targaryen, Uncle Daddy, who was like, you should join that.
He was in here tonight.
Was he? Did he say hello? All right.
Yeah. Well, I said hello to you. You ought to say hello to him now. I'm sure he'll see this later.
Maybe or not. That's fine too.
That sounds so fun. And I'm thinking, can I borrow some hours from somebody, please? I need more hours.
I have to tell you,
more time.
I am not a person who has hours. I'm a person who has minutes. And I'm like, this is a fucking bang for my buck in terms of minutes. Gosh. Like, it's amazing.
But see, I'm weird because there are things where I can completely control myself and I can control what I want to control. The problem is the stuff I don't want to control, I will not. And I'm afraid that if I like something so much, I'll just lose control because I don't want to control it. Anyway, I'm weird.
Misha, are you on a
maybe one day?
No, I'm not. No.
Mackenzie's asking if she can follow me. Yeah, everybody. If you follow me, I'll automatically hit and follow you back. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm Jen Wolverton on Amino. Yeah.
Which is a family name.
It really is. That's really my last name.
It's Tony a beautiful name.
It really is a beautiful name. I thought you made it up. It was so pretty.
Thank you. No, that is really me and Russell's last name. And at first I didn't want, because guess what my maiden name is?
I don't know.
Clark.
Well, that's a good name too.
Yeah, because like Stark, Clark, but actually, nice. But our married name is Wolverton.
Kent Clark, isn't that Superman's name?
Yes. Yes, exactly so.
Superman and Ned. Can't go wrong.
You guys, we better wrap this chapter up. It's getting late.
There was a question that Jen had, and we kept telling her, it's at the end. It's at the end. Can we get to the end to answer? What did I say, Jen? I meant Sarah. I'm tired. My brain is tired. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it's like, anyway, so Sarah, you had some questions about Robin and about, what was it? Oh, when she was feeding, again, I came at the right, not the right, I will get this, yeah. Anyway,
sorry.
Yeah, no, good. That's all good. About the breastfeeding, and I'm all for it, but there's a limit because you don't want to spend money on psychological trauma to your kid because they'll remember.
Misha and Jen pointed out was that it might have been like a power thing too. Like it's one thing to know that this breast milk is best for your child and you're going to give it to them discreetly when no one's looking. But Liza was like, guess what? This is my kingdom.
So, like she was just kind of in the open, right?
Yeah, like very brazen and sort of like trying
Cersei.
to make Kat uncomfortable.
So like Cersei.
Katie, the actress that played Lysa Tully, I'm sorry, but you could tell from season 1 to season 2 that she had breast augmentation.
Oh no, these were fake.
Yeah, it was a prosthetic.
It was prosthetic.
Breast. Yeah.
Because the child actually had that thing in his mouth, and nobody would agree for a kid to put somebody's boob in their mouth.
They can like piece it together, CGI puzzle.
No, like she had a piece apparently.
I'm just saying that her boobs look nicer in the second season or later.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I was just traumatized by looking at that kid.
I'll tell you what else. Hannah Murray, also remember how she had those teeth that kind of went in?
Oh yeah, you get your teeth fixed when you're a wildling. You defect. On this side of the wall, we have orthodontia, baby.
That's why they want to get here, right?
When she got over on this side of the wall. She
she got her shit straightened out. No, I mean,
dental work. I'd like some of that myself. I'm not gonna lie.
There is something. Oh my god,
I like her as an actress. Do you guys like her as an actress?
Who?
Misha, do you like her as an actress?
She was in that show. It was a UK show, but it was a pretty good show, and so was Ramsay Bolton. Do you guys know what I'm speaking of?
I don't, but that doesn't mean anything. It's
you're talking about Lysa, right?
I'm talking about is it Hannah Murray? It's Sam's girlfriend.
The cute little
Gilly.
Yeah,
Gilly.
Yeah, I saw her.
I thought she did that sex scene pretty well. Like I do. Like
which one?
The time, just that one time she had
with Sam.
On a boat.
Oh yeah,
it happened on a boat. It happens on a boat in the books. In the show, where did it happen?
In the bedroom after he was beaten up. So it was basically pity sex.
Right. They had boat sex at Castle Black. I remember being very upset about that at the time.
Yeah, the boat sex went.
That's back when I thought I had
John
problems.
And Danny, I guess.
Oh my god, that was like before the most recent season. Jesus.
There's a thing that I wrote about the castle being impregnable. It was said a couple times.
Yeah,
and just
she's
because
very into that. Yeah,
because it was said a couple times. I'm rooting for it to fall down somehow. Not fall down. Because it's like for something to happen. Because if they're repeating it over at least twice, maybe 3 times, To me, it means it has to be something. Something has to happen to it. A dragon.
I can't remember. That's how I start all my good stories. There was a I think it's The Princess and the Queen, like the Dance of the Dragons chapter, and like one of them shows up on Dragonback in the Vale and like rides around with the air. Like the air is very interesting.
That's how he basically gave it up.
Yeah, so you're okay. So basically, your son has bonded with me, but I just take that as like, well, yeah, they're falcons. Dragons are not totally different, and I just want to see Sansa take control of shit with a dragon. Like I really do in the Vale. Like I know it's my own fan fiction. I do. Sansa's in the Vale.
That's not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. I know, but this is where I can talk about it, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, she has fire in her hair, but not in her blood, I guess.
So yeah, like, and again, I'm like calling on my girl a lot right now, but like Alicia Kington's fan fiction is that like John is Aegon. Obviously, he's Aegon, and then like he's got the 2 sister wives that aren't necessarily his wives, but like. You know, like Rhaenys and Visenya.
Visenya.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've got the sisters, like the Stark sisters. You've got Jon as Aegon. And so I'm allowed to think of Sansa as taking over the Vale with a dragon. Just let me have it.
Oh Oh my gosh.
Let me have it.
I don't know. There's a lot. Yeah.
That girl can't even decide what to wear every morning, let alone trying to take hold of a dragon.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
But
it would be a good
nice
meeting.
thought, nevertheless. Though it would be kind of funny.
That's why there's fan fiction, right?
That's
there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, what else do you have to do? What are you doing right now? I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and just fast forward to the end. They make it, across the mountain. She's scared, but what's her name? Maya helps her get across safely. And by the time she gets to the mountain, she's like, I don't care. Just put me in with the turnips. She rides the basket up, abandoning her ladylike moves and her I don't even know what else to say. I'm kind of talked out.
Oh, basically she decides to swallow her pride and
the practical measure is to go down with the turnips. The practical measure, you're gonna go down on another donkey and have a panic attack and die 15 times, or you can go down in a little
15 times.
And just to get up to the castle. You
were saying it was like a 3-mile ascent? Like
more than 3 miles, yeah.
No,
Let me see.
No. I'm somebody who, like I said, Utah gave me altitude sickness.
Oh yeah, 3.5 miles high, but I don't think there were 3.5 miles on that with turnips. The turnip thing was just kind of towards the top already.
600 feet was actually 600 feet.
600 feet
only.
About 600 feet only. So she just had to pretty much ride up the winch, and she makes it on up to her sister. Now her sister has been asleep all night, and she doesn't really care too much about Caitlyn's journey. She's only
Sweet Robin's sleeping in that bed, right?
Yeah.
With who?
With the mom.
With mom?
Yeah, because like he's all up in like Sansa's government, like boobs and stuff. Once Liza dies, like he's like, you're the redhead who's gonna let me touch her boobs, right? Like,
but doesn't he later on sleep in the same bed as Sansa?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
I thought you meant.
Yeah.
He's in bed with Liza now, though. I feel like he's.
Wow.
Yeah, they said that in Feast for Crows after she died. Well, after after Peter came to her.
Peter,
so again, to reiterate the fact that like I'm not speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking from like what I know about the topic from a book. Is that like co-sleeping will absolutely contribute to your ability to continue to breastfeed. So if like you're wondering like how someone could be breastfeeding an 8-year-old, it's because they're in bed with her.
And actually you can that is weird. Again, this is something I read and I heard on the radio, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know anything about it either.
Where actually I read it in one of the classes I took, but then also I heard it on the radio, so somebody knows about it besides me, that you're actually person is able to, I guess it's called lactate, meaning have breast milk, even if they are not, even if they were not pregnant. The hormone is basically triggered by our brain, and
So the only person I've ever known to be able to do that, like actually had a precancerous tumor there, like
oh my gosh, this is getting heavy.
No, it was not a problem. It was just like like sometimes I lactate because I have a pituitary adenoma, and like
but basically wanting to do it, like not that you don't have a choice, but
like it was like a hormonal thing that was just happening.
It's basically because everything is controlled. Well, not everything. Many things are controlled by hormones in our body. So if there's something triggers the hormone for that, you get that.
Yeah, and that's all. That.
Yeah. And, so no wonder just the closeness. And as a mother, not going personal, but I know that mothers, even if they hear a kid cry while they're still breastfeeding, and this is like
it'll induce that
exactly feeling, So it's weird. It's not even your kid, but you're already ready to give them lunch.
You're like
very odd. It's like a reflex, not like a reflex. You don't think it just happens.
Pavlov's dog.
Yes, I'm right now thinking about food and Anyway,
I am you guys. I haven't eaten or anything yet, and
let's eat.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about him flying there? Because it says he wants to make him fly, but I'm thinking dragons for Tyrion. I would love that. But what about Robin basically being helped out of that ledge? Because he talks about that flying. What if somebody makes him fly? Would you like to see him fly?
You know what? I think he's going to fly in a non-literal sense. I think Robin could quite possibly be a green seer.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's Bran's cousin. Why not?
Or some such thing. And then he's hearing voices as as we know.
So if the Starks are wargs, then why isn't that kid special too?
Yeah, I think there's something to Robin Aaron. I think he's got, and then he's got all the earmarks for the same basic type of blood that the Starks have. So I believe there is something special to Robin Aaron and Preston Jacobs.
To be, like a correlation between handicap and like special ability. You see it in Jojen, you see it in Bran, you see it.
What about the shaking? Like
Sweet Robin has seizures. Yeah, yes, Jojen
exactly. Did Jojen have seizures? I'm thinking he did.
In this show, I think they played that up more. Like it's like they gave Sweet Robin's seizures to Jojen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was thinking.
Yeah.
Poor Jojen.
Like poor Mary Reed's like, stop it, Jojen.
I want to say good night to Nancy T. Nice to have met you. And we're glad you found our chat. Yes, we go chapter by chapter. So next week we'll be doing what number are we, ladies?
What is that Roman number? 1 and an X. That makes it a what?
1 X 9.
9. Yeah.
And it's a very short chapter as well.
Would you guys ever want to do 2 chapters in one night so that we could get?
My brain can handle more. This is a Thursday, so we're getting towards the last. We can't. So my brain is like, okay, just poor me.
I love you right now. Oh my God, that was so funny.
No, we can't do it. I mean, it took us 2 weeks just to get one chapter down, and the chapters are going to get longer.
We got to appreciate the short chapters that we have, and then take the long chapters.
What is next week? Let me look at a calendar. Let me look at a calendar right now. Next week is the 17th.
Yeah.
Okay. What chapter is it?
Eddard
9.
9. Mm-hmm. Chapter 35.
Chapter 35, Eddard 9. I'll take notes on it. I'll read it. I'll listen to it. I'll take notes on it. And whoever wants to come in for it, I'll step back and let everyone do their thing and just push it along. Or I'll be the bossy bitch that everyone criticizes me for being.
We're not criticizing you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you. It's funny.
We are bossy here.
I said to some people, I was like, you call me bossy, but in men, that's called executive, like planning
If you
skills.
want to do the overview next week, you can do the overview.
So get the fuck off. Yeah.
If you want to do the overview next week, you can do it.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
I have a fucked up week, but I'm gonna look forward to doing that.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it.
It's only about a 5-page chapter. Because the book I'm looking at is actually the illustrated version. So it's actually one of the shorter chapters.
So is this the one? Is the next one where does Eddard get like his horse falls on him? Is that the next one? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Maybe. I have a quick question since we're still on it.
I was gonna say I don't want that chapter.
You don't want that chapter?
No, I'll do it.
Because I'm listening to that. I'm not reading it, and I'm that's why one of the reasons why I'm very bad at spelling those names.
I can't spell for shit.
But
like
there
in
is
any
something.
Language.
Yeah, the only thing I can spell is Sansa and John. Hopefully, there's no H in it.
Fingers brothel. That's the next chapter.
Okay. There's a question I have. It said it mentioned Sir Varys, but the way the guy pronounced it, I wasn't sure. It sounded like Varys or something. The house Varys. Okay.
Yeah, that's how Lord Varys like the way Shay says it in the show is sort of the way I feel like Varys, like, I don't know.
No, but like, because we have Varys, and then there's a mention of the household guard at the Vale named Sir Varys or something. Yeah.
Vardis. Sir Vardis.
Vardis. Okay. Because I didn't know how it's spelled since I don't have the actual book. So I was just wondering, like,
you just heard it. Yeah.
They don't have no connection. They don't have any connection in this.
No connection.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I'm just since Varys is such a
he's actually the one who fights Bronn for he's one of Lysa's suitors. And he fights Bronn for
in John Aaron's armor, who he can't like actually handle, and it was like a really
probably a bad move because good armor is probably suited, for
But those clowns were so excited to just like show their like they're just a bunch of soldiers that are ready to go, and Lysa's telling them no. So he's like, okay, I'll be the one who fights for Lady Lysa. Like that's just such a confused kingdom. I don't understand it. I guess I understand it the least, and that's why I look forward to it in what we will be getting soon, which is
well, you guys have questions in the chat. It's going on 11 o'clock, and I have to work tomorrow. Everybody has to work tomorrow.
Question in the chat. I think I said to people to answer ask. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'll answer anything. I won't answer it well, but I'll answer it. Or none. That's fine too.
I don't think there's any.
Looks like we don't have any. Okay, well, we'll see everybody next week, 8 o'clock, Thursday night at R9. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night, lovelies.
Weekend. A great rest of the week.
Good night.